Star Trek is quite well known for actually having space battles.
So Star Trek space battles are like submarine fights, where you have a very slow-moving vehicle and a very slow-moving, whereas Star Wars is more like jet fighters and stuff.
It's more pew. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
pew
right,
pew.
Yeah. To quote
So
Sam
and
Mills,
he famously made Star Trek more pew pew.
he did make it more pew pew.
Yeah.
We can slap that on the box. You can put that on the DVD, the Blu-ray if you want, JJ. You made it more pew pew, and it's
More pew pew.
you might want to just take the star rating off. Hi there and welcome to Two Reels Podcast. My name is Liam Reedy and today I'm joined by Sam Mills and we are talking about the Disney Plus series, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Before we get into it, just want to say thank you for giving us a listen. If you like what you're listening to, give us a like on Facebook, a follow on Instagram or Twitter. All of those at Two Reels Podcast. Coming up to our 50th episode, this episode being episode 49. That'll be out next week, where myself and Harry are talking about Jurassic World Dominion. Coming full circle to our first original 2 episodes talking about the Jurassic Park saga. So don't miss that one. That being said, let's get into this week's podcast. I feel like Obi-Wan is something that's been like knocking around since before even Disney took over Star Wars.
Before the concept of a Star Wars TV show was even reality.
In between Revenge of the Sith and Disney taking over, I feel like there was that whole. It was like 3, 4, 5 years where George Lucas was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do a Star Wars TV show. I'm just waiting for the technology to catch up." But every passing year, the likelihood of it happening got less and less.
Yeah.
Even though the technology got better, and the second that Disney took over Star Wars, 2012, I think, the likelihood of a TV show was less because obviously there was no Disney Plus. There was barely Netflix at that time.
Yeah,
but because then you were just like, oh, that's killed that. Then there would just be films.
Especially this whole Disney's first approach to Star Wars was to completely try and undo everything that existed before. Seemingly.
I don't think it was that. I feel like it was just the people that they hired didn't really care for Star Wars. Like, I feel like JJ, it's very well documented that like his style of filmmaking is not like, oh, I have to adhere to the law of whatever universe I'm currently got dipping my toe in, and there's a lot of so I hate saying it, but there's a lot of casual cinema goers who love Star Trek, but then there's double that who are like Star Trek fans, even like quite casual Star Trek fans. Like I know about Star Trek. I haven't seen like a lot of it.
No, I like Star Trek because of those films. I've tried watching actual Star Trek and it's okay.
Really?
But
I thought you were the other way around.
I've tried watching.
Yeah.
And I can it's
kind of
okay.
hard,
I can put it on.
Yeah.
But to actually watch it as a show linearly, it's just like
bit of a drag.
Yeah, a lot of filler. But it's not filler because the whole point of the show is that it's not supposed to be an action-packed thing. It's supposed to be about exploration and man's and the peak of what man can be and that kind of thing. And that's where I love what Star Trek represents. And I love what it's brought. There would be no Star Wars about Star Trek. A lot of our modern sci-fi does. Fucking some of the technology we have, like fucking sliding doors and mobile phones, is like can be directly traced back to Star Trek.
Yeah, I feel like having a conversation with someone who does like Star Trek in whatever capacity more than us is like completely against what JJ's films are.
Yeah.
And I can understand that.
Well,
but I feel like he's just done the same thing with Star Wars. And not to get dragged into a sequel trilogy debate too early.
Yeah.
I feel like because he was the primary Disney hire for Star Wars, at the time I was like, okay, for what they are, I don't mind the Star Trek movies, but I can understand where people say he's just like hijacked the name and just done something completely different.
He famously says that he made them more Star Warsy.
Yeah.
On the special features of the first film, if you get the Blu-ray or whatever thing, there was an interview with him and he says he made the starfights more Star Warsy.
Yeah, space battles.
And at the time, I used to revel in that against my Trekkie friends. But
Star Trek is quite well known for actually having space battles.
So Star Trek space battles are like submarine fights, where you have a very slow-moving vehicle and a very slow thing, and whereas Star Wars is more like jet fighters and stuff.
It's more pew. Yes,
yeah,
that's
pew
right,
pew.
Yeah. To quote Sam Mills,
he famously made Star Trek more pew pew.
He did make it more pew pew.
Yeah,
we can slap that on the box. You put that on the DVD, the Blu-ray if you want, JJ. You made it more pew pew, and it's you might want to just take the star rating off.
We're bringing out the new edition of the
4K Blu-rays.
4K Blu-rays. It's the pew pew edition.
Now
two reels, 20 times more pew pew.
Two Reels podcast gives it 2 pew pews up. No, I don't know what I'd give the rating. That's for another time. But I feel like they had JJ come on board. Didn't really. I know it sounds really bad that I'm like, it didn't respect the source material or the universe. But also, I feel like that sounds really stupid because they made a ton of money.
Yeah.
But if they could have made a better movie, a better Star Wars film. Mainly the other two, especially Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
I feel this. I probably say this a lot. Maybe not on the podcast, but I'm like, you're leaving money on the table because repeat viewings and like merchandise and like I know obviously like loads of kids have bought the toys, as I would if I was the same age.
We did.
Yeah, if I was at that age coming out,
there was a whole. There was a whole bunch of people 10 years older than us.
Yeah.
That prequels came out, they absolutely hated them, and later on obviously we didn't like them, but at the time we fucking loved them.
I feel so hypocritical, but I'm gonna double down because if you always double down on a soft 16. So with the sequel trilogy, I feel like if they could have made them even better films, they would have made even more money.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that's Disney's model, is just to make money.
Yeah.
So if they'd actually said, it was a kind of a stunt hire, like he's a big name.
Yeah. At the time, Abrams was the one.
Yeah, exactly. 2012.
Because he just killed it with Star Trek. And he famously made Star Trek more Star Warsy. So you've got a guy who's, and by that point he'd done that. He'd done Guardians. No.
What do you mean?
He'd done Guardians?
No, James Gunn's Guardians.
Sorry, James Gunn.
They do look very similar.
Sorry, I'm getting them mixed up. Their names are similar as well. No, yes, Abrams so obviously Lost. He was big from Lost anyway.
I mean, he was only a producer on that. I mean, I think he directed.
I feel like he's the big name that you associate with Lost.
Yeah, that's
creators.
True. Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to tell you who the director is or the showrunner.
Yeah.
So he had Lost under his belt. Then the Star Trek happened.
Yeah.
And then right around that time, he was sort of like King of the Nerds, and he got Star Wars.
I mean, there was definitely a couple of King of the Nerds around 2012, and they were Joss Whedon and J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
And in less than 10 years, they've lost both of them. For two very different reasons.
Very different reasons. J.J. Abrams, fine.
J.J. Abrams can still make movies.
Yeah.
So,
Joss Whedon, it turned out he wasn't just a king, he was one of those monster kings that...
it was... Yeah, anyway, less about that.
Yeah.
But, so, I feel like with the beginning of Disney's Star Wars, and then by the time that they were rolling out ideas and treatments for like Disney Plus series, I feel like Boba Fett having a TV show, because that was the original plan way back when George was thinking about it. Obviously they made the Mandalorian because I don't think they really nailed down like how they were going to do it. Or if I know at the time, if you'd ask any Star Wars fan and you'd say Boba Fett TV series, absolutely everyone would have been like, straight away, do that. But I feel like Disney...
Well, everyone assumed Mandalorian was going to be it, didn't they?
Yeah, so at first I was just like, maybe it's like set way earlier. And, it's Boba Fett, in between, so like when we last see him, which was at the time was in like the Clone Wars TV show, in between that and, in between when we see him in Empire Strikes Back, would have been a good idea. Wow. Would have been probably a better idea than the actual Book of Boba Fett. But it was a little bit like, I feel like Disney were trying
to wrote on that, if they'd done that, apparently, and there was a big fan surge for it, the kid who played Boba in Attack of the Clones has grown up to look very similar.
He looks quite similar.
Yeah,
to Mara Morrison.
And there was like posting pictures around the time, kind of like where I think Mandalorian wasn't even quite released yet, but he was posting pictures of himself in sort of like the Boba Fett outfit and like that. I think trying to sell himself for the part. There was a big fan surge of wanting him to get the part of Boba Fett.
I mean, Daniel Logan looks a little bit like Tamara Morrison, but the voice is very different.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They're both. I thought they're both from.
Because he did the voice for the character in. I think he did Jango and Boba for the Lego Star Wars game, and it's like quite a famous meme that he sounds like nothing like either. It was one of the first things that I saw about the game, and I was like, that's not off to a good start. Anyway, the
funny thing is, have you seen the guy who does the voice for the clones in Clone Wars?
I haven't seen him. No, I've heard him.
You've heard him. It sounds really good for him. Like it's weird how that voice coming out. Like the whitest guy.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay,
honestly, yeah. He's really good though. He's really good at it. But
I
kind of assumed it was what's his face. It's that good, but does not look.
You thought it was Tamara Morrison? Nah, it's a lot higher than Jango.
That's true.
A lot
true.
Higher.
Yeah.
And Boba Fett.
And I think you need a voice actor for the clones because he has to do so many variations because of their personality and how they are like. Whereas that obviously the guy's a good actor. But he can just do what he can do. Sort of thing like.
But with the Mandalorian, I believe they were trying to like what they were doing with the sequel trilogy, trying to carve out their own stories, rather than what they've literally rubbished. They weren't like, right, we don't really want to go back too much. We'll try and carve out our own story, which for the first series of Mandalorian still has nods to Star Wars. You've got IG-88 in there and, loads of other...
There's stormtroopers and it's the way it's set during the Empire. Like, exactly. And they references to the thing. But
I mean, you can't get away from stormtroopers at Star Wars.
No,
but,
they literally set it 5 years after. They're still going to be about. So, yeah,
absolutely. So, I can understand what they were trying to do, but literally they were like, swap it. It's just like, we've got all this like stuff written for like how Boba Fett could be, especially mainly early on, like where he's like quite hard nosed, obviously. And then they were just like, you can tell there was a switch that was flipped, probably after Last Jedi or just before Rise of Skywalker, where the whole of Star Wars was like, nope, go back. Go back.
They did it with it. You suddenly had. They went from trying to. I think they did Rebels, where it was sort of like, oh look, here's our animated show, done very similar. Where it's like we'll talk about things, but it's like a new direction of Star Wars stuff. Look, we're even doing like a new Luke.
Yeah.
Season 2 of Rebels.
Bring back Darth Vader.
It's like there's droids. I think Rex comes in.
Yeah.
Darth Maul comes back.
Yeah.
You even see fucking Vader.
They were just like, make it...
No, we made a mistake. Just bring it all back.
They were like, make it Clone Wars, make it New Hope, make it everything everyone knows.
Yeah.
But with that, they decided to greenlight a Star Wars show, which we, now 15 minutes in.
Yes, I think it'll be like a good
little... We'll start talking about, which was Obi-Wan Kenobi, which was, I feel like, if there was any characters that the majority of fans our age and above would like to have seen more, I feel like Boba Fett was probably top, just because he has like that aura has that aura of cool.
Yeah.
Where you were like, we want to know more.
Yeah.
And then you were also like, it'd be cool if they had an Obi-Wan show, wouldn't it?
Because
it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. And if they were able to get Ewan McGregor, because
even that was on the table for so long.
Yeah,
we've seen all these people coming back playing these people and all that, and it was still kind of like, but is Ewan McGregor playing like?
I feel like we were in the age of them bringing people back after Ray Park was Darth Maul in Solo.
That's it, yeah.
with the voice of Sam Witwer though, and not Peter Serafinovich.
Very odd, yeah.
Such an odd choice. I know he does it
I honestly don't know why. Because of the makeup that goes on Darth Maul, they didn't just have Sam.
I mean,
but they didn't need the martial artist for that scene, did they?
They didn't. No, he just got up from a chair.
Yeah.
Playing like, no, definitely not. That must have been the easiest money Ray Park's ever made.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I can see why they did it, because the continuity between that and what they've already just been doing with the Clone Wars, and obviously the last season of Clone Wars was going to come out as well. So you're a little bit like, okay, continuity. You can have the same person, for the voice from the animated show. It just lends a bit more continuity.
Was that an option at one point?
What?
The guy who does the voice was going to be Obi-Wan.
No, sorry, Sam, I'm talking about Darth Maul.
Yeah, Darth Maul. So yes.
So the continuity of having Darth Maul from the animated show and in the cameo be the exact same actor.
Oh no, yeah.
In terms of voice,
at the end of the day, we heard more dialogue from Sam Witwicker than we did from it does make more sense.
Of course, yeah,
it does. I completely forgot he actually did the voice of Darth Maul in the TV shows. Yeah, and he does a better Maul. Maul is so much more interesting in Clone Wars.
I mean,
it's not. You can't really. It's hard to judge because the poor guy doesn't even get
absolutely no comparison.
Yeah, it goes from like flipping two lines to does not shut up.
Pretty much, yeah.
Honestly, the guy talks a lot.
Well, he did go mad.
That's true.
So he probably had to talk to himself for a long time.
Yeah, that's true. Have you seen how they brought him? It's good how cool they bring him back as well.
But that's someone who is not in this TV show.
No, we'll talk about that.
Which is not surprising because, timelines are kind of all over the place. You need a map to navigate.
And he technically can't. Because of the story that happens in Rebels.
Yeah.
The whole point of Rebels is he's looking for him.
Yeah.
So if they could have done a bit of retcon, like, they actually did encounter him, but it's like, no, the whole day he's been looking for him for
this series does not need more retconning
of
prior Star Wars material.
There was enough. Yeah.
We knew we were going to get a fight between Obi-Wan and Vader, because if they didn't, I feel like there'd be riots. Cancellations of Disney Plus left and right.
Yeah. And they we'll go on to it probably, but the fact that originally lightsaber fights, theirs is my favourite fight.
From
Revenge
3,
of the Sith is my favourite lightsaber fight. Some other Clone Wars ones as well, but in review, especially in the main live action, it goes that then Empire.
Yeah,
are my favourite ones. But the fact that the two of them came back, stepped into it, and now have, I guess, my joint first favourite fight.
I mean, we'll get to it.
But so they stepped right back into it and knew what they were doing, and it was good.
It was one of the first things that they announced.
Yeah.
After announcing the series was like, you're going to see the rematch of the century.
Yeah.
Which was
the rematch before the rematch, but it happened before the original match.
Yes.
It's such a weird one.
Yes, the timeline of Star Wars is a very complicated thing.
I do feel like if you were going to go back, I don't know, if ever the technology came along where they could completely redo a scene.
No, don't, mate. We've already had George meddling. You don't need Disney meddling.
But I'm just thinking, if you look at their fights now and then go to Alec McGuinness and Vader's fight, I can't remember the guy who's in the suit.
David Prowse.
That's it, David Prowse. The bodybuilder who beat Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Interesting.
He put you out of context. Well, not all of it, like one of the contests. But that's what the thing is. Their fight is a bit...
Yeah, but it's for the... there is a video online which adds to the scene. I can't remember what it's called.
It's
called like scene, and it's like a number, like 36 or 32 or something.
It's quite cool. And it adds
which, it's kind of cool in a fanfic.
Yeah. Maybe don't do it then. I don't know.
But I don't want... Disney has already meddled enough. If you've seen any of the later Blu-ray releases, like I think it's called like the McClunky version, because obviously Han shot first for real, but in these redos, even from George Lucas, like they have Greedo shoot first, and he
messed with the question,
and he says something, but like obviously the line that comes out of Greedo's mouth, because he's an alien, is he just says like McClunky. So like people refer to the re-edits by Disney as the McClunky edits, and I'm just like, it's perfect naming. It's just because it's they fucked up that scene, because it's the scene where Han shoots first, right? But
well, no, but the point is, we think he shoots first.
No, we know he shoots first
because we think he does.
No, because you can physically see he shoots first. Like if you go frame by frame, and like obviously because we're nerds, like you've done it before. Yeah. So, but in this one, it's the weird fucking head dodge. Have you seen that? Where
that's always been there, isn't it?
No.
I thought I grew up watching the head dodge.
No, mate.
Does it like that?
No, 2004 version. I think they put.
Oh.
And then they just make this. They're just progressively making the scene worse with like editing. Yeah. I'm just like, look, you say like, oh, I'd love for this to be, and I'm just like, no, leave the movies alone. Here's the thing: the versions that we can see now, or the ones that you can get now on like Disney Plus. I'm like, I don't want them to get worse than this. Like they're not bad, but I don't want it to get worse than this.
The first red flag should have been that edition that came out when we were kids. Probably before the prequels in the gold squeaky case.
Is it the one that makes fart noises?
It's the squeakiest case I've ever had for a
VHS.
For a VHS. With where they gave the Sarlacc a beak. That should have been a red flag.
No, why? I quite like that.
I liked it. It's just a pit with teeth.
I mean,
that comes out.
Yeah, it is a little bit more menacing when it is just a hole with teeth.
And then the second red flag is a few years later, where they add the song scene in the canteen.
I mean, that was in the '97 version.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
With the
what's
kind of like CGI'd alien.
Yes.
The long mouth.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, that was in the '97 release. Yeah. The special edition, gold version. Yeah.
That was awful.
All of those reshoots cost him like, I think it was between $2 and $5 million.
Yeah,
and I'm like, where did that money go? Like,
why?
I love the fact that
what was wrong with Star Wars that made you feel I needed to.
A little side note as well, which I find hilarious, is seeing behind the scenes footage of the reshoots. And the body double or the stand-in for Boba Fett looks like Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, really?
So you know, in Return of the Jedi, where it's kind of like he's just like, you know, Jabba's kind of bodyguards. You know, like you're a little bit like he's a bounty hunter who works for himself, but he's like hanging out in this disgusting place with all these like smelly creatures, and you know where he's just like he seems to be like a bit of a ladies' man, you know, where he's just like talking to those two alien chicks.
Yeah.
And then when shit starts going down, he's like, "Yeah, see you later." When he's got work to do, he's just like, "Oh, better talk to the boss. See you later." It's like I can't see it. Like I can't unsee the fact that Weird Al Yankovic lookalike is underneath there. I'm trying to replace it with Tamara Morrison because he's like. He is a smooth dude.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, it just in my mind I can't do it because I'm just like this Weird Al Yankovic looking guy is just under the hood, and I'm just like, it's just can't take him too serious.
Have you watched the actual the actual edition is still out there, obviously, to watch, but the original,
I don't think. Oh yes, yeah. I think it is Jeremy Bulloch, isn't it?
No, it's I don't know, some American guy.
That's what I mean.
Oh yeah.
Well, you say just some American guy, but like it's the original actor.
Yeah, but I don't know who that is. Do I know who that is?
I'm pretty sure.
Has he played anything else?
No. See, I don't know.
Liam. I don't know who it is.
Yeah, okay. Well, I think I've probably met him. You know when you do like a Comic-Con?
Oh, he definitely is at this. Yeah, he's definitely.
I mean, he's passed away
He
now,
definitely qualifies for the zoo, the human zoo.
The human. Yeah. What London MCF?
You played Boba Fett, the original Boba Fett. That's like. Of course, but you obviously aren't doing anything at the moment. We'll definitely pay you fuckloads of money to come and like you're the original Boba Fett.
You say fuckloads of money. It's not that much money.
Enough that he gets to go.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And plus 20 quid like he gets a share of like 20 quid of a photo, all that stuff. Like, yeah.
Honestly, paying for photos, man, can't be done with that.
Never. Stephen makes a point to do one per visit. I still haven't bought myself. There's not a celebrity yet that I'm doing so desperate.
That's true. if they well, I mean, at the one that's in a couple of weeks, I feel like Carl Urban's going to be there. I feel like that'd be up there for me.
You would pay to meet Carl Urban. Fair enough.
Not to meet him, actually, I don't know. Probably not.
I just find it really impersonal.
It is impersonal, isn't it?
They don't care.
Handing over cold hard cash for a photo.
It's sad. It just feels weird. I would, to be honest, I don't. My whole thing. Eventually, we'll talk about Obi-Wan.
I feel like even celebrities in real life, sometimes they have to be upper echelon, or like because I support Arsenal, they'd have to be in the Arsenal team for me to actually take a photo with them.
Yeah,
because I've seen celebrities in public, and I've not been like, "Can I have a photo?"
My ideal situation to meet a celebrity would be to just meet them, by chance, have a quick chat. Yeah. I don't even want a photo. I just got the story. Yeah. And not even I want bragging rights. I just want to be able to go, they were all right. Yeah. That's it. That's all I want to do is walk away from that conversation saying, oh, good, I met my hero, or I met one of my favourite beings, and they were actually cool. That's it. Done. And my closest thing to that is when I met Han Solo.
Yeah.
At the Secret Cinema. That's my closest claim to meeting one of my heroes. No. I've never met Harrison Ford.
It was an actor.
I've met Han Solo, not Harrison Ford.
Yeah, that's probably better.
In some ways, I don't know. Harrison Ford's quite a cool guy, but
to be fair, Han Solo did like dig you out.
I got mugged off by Han Solo.
You did, yeah.
How cool is that?
That is quite.
A celebrity would have been overly nice, or like that.
Except for if it was Harrison Ford.
Full on, like Han Solo by Han Solo, and I was like, that's one of my favourite interactions with a famous character, I guess.
I feel like on a side note to that, I feel like one of the funniest things that's actually happened in terms of meeting a celebrity, I say meeting in quotation marks, like very loosely, is when Bill Nye, obviously of Love Actually and Pirates of the Caribbean, I was in Primrose Hill with two people who were drunk, and they like shouted and like waved at him. I was sober at the time. And so much so that he got really nervous and jumped into the nearest cab and like just drove off. That's one of the ones where I'm just like, I feel like I would do that in that situation. Two out of three people drunk yelling my name in London town, jump into the nearest cab. Yeah. So to get away. He made a decision. But yeah, with Obi-Wan, people were like clamoring for it, and I feel like with the wait for Obi-Wan was a lot longer than any wait for any of the other projects.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Especially any of the other projects on Disney Plus, I'd say. Mainly, obviously, like Marvel and Star Wars ones.
Yeah.
But, kind of hotly pressed through the ringer once Mandalorian was picking up steam. Once, first season was good. Second season was better.
They're different.
They are different.
I like the first one because it's got. I think we've done the Mandalorian, but I like the first one because it's got the whole episodic weekly episode. It
is a little bit more.
Whereas 2 is a bit more. Same with The Witcher.
Continued story.
2 is more continuous story, I think, and like The Witcher, sometimes I don't like it when shows do that, but they've both done it very well. Very similar stories.
We're going to get to the Mandalorian podcast.
We've done it, haven't we?
Have we? No, we've done Book of Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
I mean, I don't think this podcast was going when the second season came out. Or we hadn't really got up steam. I'd done 1 episode or 2 episodes.
I think you'd done the Jurassic Park and stuff like that, but it wasn't what it is now,
So I'm guessing when 3 rolls around at the end of this year,
we'll do Mandalorian.
We'll do that then.
I think we've already said this in Boba Fett as well. So
I feel like once a Mandalorian had picked up steam, I feel it was natural that this would be coming.
Yeah, it was always inevitable. Yeah. But honestly, was up in the air whether it was Ewan McGregor for. I feel like right up until like late last year.
No. I feel due to COVID, obviously, there was a bit of a pause. If they didn't, they weren't shooting. But I feel like there was the announcement.
That
they were doing the show.
Yeah.
Confirmation that Ewan McGregor was coming back.
Okay.
A little while later, that Hayden Christensen would be coming back. And then a lot of time and waiting.
I'm still confused at my own reaction to Hayden Christensen coming back because I got really excited.
Yeah.
And I don't rate him as an actor.
No, I don't either.
okay, and I don't know. I don't dislike the actor. I'm not like, I hate that guy.
I watched him in a movie with Adrian Brody, which is about two brothers and their bank robbers. I really wasn't. I can't really remember too much. There isn't much of a plot other than that.
Yeah.
So,
but
honestly, it's one of the worst films I've ever seen. And
wow.
And here's the thing: Adrian Brody is
fantastic
an Oscar winner,
and you're a big Adrian Brody mark.
I mean, no,
you were at one point.
No,
around Kong and stuff. You used to talk about Adrian Brody quite a bit.
No, I thought he'd been in a lot of good films by that point.
Yeah.
So I was just like, he's a good actor.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's got some work to do to bring me back up to that point because I've seen him in some fucking stinkers since.
Yeah.
He's
had a weird career.
I feel like after The Pianist, when he won the Oscar, he basically did a few good movies, and then when he did the Predator soft reboot, downhill from there. Yeah. And I feel like he's got some work to do if he's to ever be kind of really considered a decent actor again.
Fair enough.
He's done some shit bits where he's just comes into, like when he was in Peaky Blinders, but Peaky Blinders is actually good.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it was good. It was all right. But he does like shit bits in movies where he'll come in. He'll only be in like 3 or 4 scenes.
Yeah. And
all he's doing is being like either like stereotypical Italian American, or he'll put on like a weird voice, and his character will be really hyper, or he'll just be it kind of like phone it in basically.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, that's not good. So yeah, and Hayden Christensen in that movie was, I don't know, it was
worse than Jumper.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's tough.
I mean, that wasn't even. I don't even think that was too long ago that film came out.
What, Jumper?
No, obviously not. Yeah.
Oh, no, it must have been there because I swear he retired. Right, the whole idea.
Yeah, well, I feel like him going and becoming a farmer.
That was it.
I feel like that's
not
just
a gardener. Rumor. I always thought it was a gardener.
I mean, there's taking a break from acting.
Yeah.
And doing stuff, and then there's like. Oh, he's gone and become a farmer because he couldn't act. Like, I feel like it's just hearsay.
But yeah, I guess so. But we didn't see him anything since. And then I generally got excited, and I don't know. I feel like Dave Filoni has a bit like effectively Jedi mind tricked me and rewrit my memory of the prequels, and somehow tapped into that part of me that when I was a kid that really enjoyed them. That
maybe he's just good at telling Star Wars stories.
He's just so good.
They're supplemental to what you already have seen.
Yeah.
And you take the good bits of what you've seen from the prequels.
Yeah.
And, some people will say it's not that many, and that's fine.
And there was a period I enjoyed it. So there's almost a mentality in there where I do enjoy it. But over the years, it just obviously got worse. It didn't stand the test of time very well. But then he sort of reawakened that part of it. Built up around it. Like I said, he's never said he tried to improve him. He just built up around it. Yeah. And now I hear Hayden Christensen coming back with Ewan McGregor, and I'm like, yes, brilliant. Yes.
It's not all Filoni's doing, but it is a lot to do with what he's doing.
Yeah.
Also, the film I was talking about is the most generic title of any film. I told you it's about two brothers.
Is it called Two Brothers?
Two brothers, who rob banks. And it's literally just called American Heist.
Oh, wow.
How did that get made?
Is robbing a bank a heist?
I mean, of a sort. It's a very simplistic heist.
Yeah. I feel like heist is more of an art. Robbing a bank's just a...
I feel like, it's just a felony.
Just a felony, yeah.
It's just a crime.
You're committing a crime in both scenarios, but let's face it, there's one we prefer over the other.
Yeah. But, I don't know how that got made.
The other, you're just cool.
But I can see why... it's a weird situation to be in where we're like, yes, Hayden Christensen, sorry, and you're just like, yes, he's coming back, and then you think, and you're a little bit like, why am I so happy? He's genuinely one of the worst bits about it. Yeah. The fact that George Lucas doesn't move the camera in the fucking prequels, and Hayden Christensen being so dry with the material that George is giving him, are two of the biggest gripes about three of the biggest films of all time. Which is so they're diverse. They're diversive. They're kind of like they have people for and against, which is understandable. And even as someone who, we've done the prequels in terms of the podcast, and I was able to step outside of the nostalgia slightly.
Yeah.
But I just even with the sequel trilogy, again, not to get into it, I don't know how there isn't anyone who could step out of it and be like, no, actually, they're all still really good. I just don't understand. No, the sequel trilogy.
Oh, the sequels, yeah. Whereas the prequels, you can almost think...
They had some really good bits in it.
And if it wasn't for the prequels, at the end of the day, Star Wars wouldn't be what it is now.
Yeah, still would be 3 movies.
There was an expanded universe. But it was
books.
comic book and stuff. I spoke to my cousin the other day, and obviously before the prequels, anything like that, there was a point where in his Star Wars fandom, he's 10 years older than us. Yeah. Literally 10 years older than us. There was a point within his Star Wars fandom there where he would forget that they were movies.
Yeah.
Like, to be a fan of the Star Wars movies was like surface level fan.
Yeah.
Because they had their own D&D. There was the tabletop RPG. There was
mainly books,
games, books, comic books, all that stuff. All the expanded universe that like you could be a deep Star Wars fan in the 80s, 90s kind of like thing. I think it was late 80s, early 90s. I don't know when the comic book started, to be honest. I assume 80s.
No, it's got to be after the films, isn't it?
Yeah, so I would say
80s.
Probably the 80s, late 80s.
They probably 90s. had a comic version of the original movie.
Yeah.
And then I probably think it exploded after Empire. So.
Yeah, as I say, comic books have been around for so. And but yeah, so like that whole being that deep of a fan possibly was that access for us, but I don't know if I would be if it wasn't for the prequels. I watched the originals growing up, obviously.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like a deep fan because I was a kid. I didn't look at films that way in the end. It was just like flashy lights, lightsabers, wicked, that sort of thing. I couldn't analyse in the way I do. But those films came out, and by the time they'd finished, I was about 13, 14, and I was like, I really like Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars fan. And then you watch the others and everything around it. Then Clone Wars happens because of it. And we see Anakin played properly.
Yeah.
And then that's the thing about Clone Wars. Anakin is like being played more likable and like almost a bit fixed. Obi-Wan is just a homage. The guy playing Obi-Wan is a complete homage to Ewan McGregor. Yeah. Like even the way he talks is just like Ewan McGregor. It was weird hearing Ewan McGregor because obviously I've spent years watching Clone Wars Obi-Wan. Where it's a very over-the-top kind of voice. He's
so regal in Clone Wars.
Yes, yeah. He comes back in this, and Ewan McGregor's version, it's different, but you can absolutely that guy was just doing his version of the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird to get excited. I don't know if it's because of my like for Clone Wars and almost like I wouldn't say like awakened love for the prequels, but I can watch them, enjoy them a lot more now, knowing what's going on around them. And you said there are some brilliant bits in them. Lightsaber fights, you guys touched on it in the prequel thing. They just because I didn't realize the spec was different in the originals. They were told it was a heavy knights kind of sword.
Yeah.
And in this one, they're like, no, guys, let's fucking make it look cool.
Yeah.
And sometimes you do just forgive shit for the rule of cool. Like,
rule
of cool. If something's going to look cool, let's fucking do it.
That's what most action movies are.
Yeah. Exactly, and we fucking love action.
You're like, I'll forgive the plot holes.
Yeah, because it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
The Rock, one of the best movies ever. It's so full of plot holes, and but it's brilliant. It's just fun.
The action in it is fantastic.
Absolutely.
And the same for Star Wars.
Star Wars, well, yeah.
Especially the prequels.
And the prequels, the action is incredible. The battles, the fight, the world they build a world. Whether you like the film or there's problems in it, they literally do build. There is world building there. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And there's attention to detail. Like the attention to detail. Like, did you know that? In Attack of the Clones, there are some Jedi not showing up to that last fight because material that was going to possibly come out later on, or stories they had on the side that were going to come out along with it, the Jedi was there.
Yeah.
So those specific, or some of them were even coming from a battle, and there'll be makeup and stuff in a way because of something that happened to them in the thing.
That's off screen or in a game or in a comic.
Yeah, like honestly, like that kind of, it was nothing you would never see it in the film, and it was such a minor thing, but they put that in. I love that. That's amazing.
Did Ewan McGregor slot seamlessly into the character once again?
Yes, but it's a weird way because obviously he wasn't the character. The whole point of the story is he's not Obi-Wan anymore. Yeah. He's Ben, and not the early Ben that we first were introduced to. This is Ben down on his luck, given like.
I'd say down on his luck is probably a
bit of an understatement.
Probably a bit of an understatement.
Just
everyone he knows.
As far as he's concerned, he's the last of his kind.
Yeah,
or at least.
Right, I'm gonna get to the first gripe of the series.
Yes,
is just having a random person come and find him in the desert. You know, is it the first or it's the second episode? It's the first episode.
The other Jedi.
The other Jedi, like he's just generic extra.
Yeah.
Number 10.
You're gonna die.
And you see him in the town.
Yeah, because the whole point that the Jedi can't resist help someone.
I mean, for self-preservation, I think they could
just help someone without using the Force.
Exactly.
But the whole idea is as well that the thing that's made them investigate this specific place, and I'm sure the idea is they're doing it everything, but a story comes out about a person in this universe helps someone. They didn't say about using the Force
I know.
Or anything like that. It was to do with, we hear a story and you got helped by a random stranger. Must be a Jedi.
Also, you hear a story about something like this happening and you send the top dogs.
Yeah.
You know, you send the head honchos of, don't want to do any like due diligence or like any research into what's happened. Nope, just fire up the spaceship. We're going on a trip to the other side of the galaxy.
We hear there was a good Samaritan that helped some bartender somewhere in Tatooine. Oh, it must have been a Jedi.
Must have been.
In a series where we later on find out that there's tons of people out there helping people.
Yeah.
Helping the Jedi that aren't Jedi.
Yeah.
So
also it's just, and also Tatooine, although is the birthplace of Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
The majority of the universe, bar a handful of people, don't know Anakin Skywalker's Darth Vader. So and assume that Anakin Skywalker is dead. So, you know, even though Tatooine is, quite famous and is obvious because it's in every fucking Star Wars, except for the sequel trilogy when they just changed the name.
Fucking hell!
I'm convinced that it's the same planet and they just changed the name.
Oh, do you think so? Oh,
but the
rebrand.
Well, yeah, Disney had to, but they needed to have the same Star Wars beats anyway. But sending the Grand Inquisitor and third sister, I want to say
third sister, yeah,
to a bar because of a rumor, is like so convoluted. It's unreal. And the main thing of the gripe about this anyway, not only is the fact that the Jedi in this is so forgettable. I don't know what he looks like. I couldn't tell you a physical trait.
He is default Jedi on any creator Jedi thing.
Is that how did he find him in the desert?
Force.
Oh, I don't need that.
Did he use the Force?
But it's so random.
Even if he'd followed him from his job, Obi-Wan was doing nothing to draw any attention to himself. He
didn't follow him because they were going in two different directions.
Oh yeah.
Because he meets him coming the other way.
Oh yeah.
And he's just like, they have like the most boring conversation.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan's like on a camel, like his camel thing.
And also, all it does is, I'm okay to see a broken.
Always got the high ground though, just in case.
I'm okay to see. Well, apart from one point in this, I'm okay to see like broken Obi-Wan and stuff. But, and I guess it's kind of good storytelling. But I don't want to see. I didn't like that scene where he turns the Jedi away not to help him, although he does just advise him, we can't be together. Like, obviously, two of us together is going to be. They're going to find us. Let's they're going to find us. Let's just not be together. That makes sense. He doesn't necessarily leave him high and dry. He's just kind of like, look, get the fuck away. Like, you're going to get yourself. Being with him, he's going to get you killed because I think he's convinced it. But the scene in the town with Owen and stuff as well in that first episode, like Rena just side out all the ones there picks out Owen and just really goes in on this farmer, like over what? nothing had happened at this point, and you've just really gone in on, and you're supposed to be a character that was actually secretly good, or not good, but like not evil, that doesn't want to torture a kid but does. It's just like, I hate her. She's the worst character.
She's the worst character.
She's worse than Anakin Skywalker in the prequels.
That's a big. That's
throwing
a big,
out that she is. She's just an awful character. There's nothing to her. She is boring as fuck. She's so generic.
In this age of, in this age of quasi-forced strong female characters,
she's not that.
That's what I'm saying. She's the opposite. They've created a character who is like, or she's all just shouting. Like, she's all just like very one-dimensional.
Yeah, which is the frustrating thing as well, is this is from a universe full of the archetypes of strong female characters. Leia, Padme, there's other Jyn Erso. Like honestly, Star Wars.
Jin's one of my favourites.
Star Wars is crazy. I actually would prefer. I know you're looking forward to Andor, and so am I. But I'd actually prefer a Jyn Erso series over an Andor.
Yeah, I probably would as well.
It seems like there's more of a story there, like the whole.
But the fact is that you couldn't have her interact with the rebels, so she just.
No, you do her story before, don't you? There's a whole. She's got a whole story before that film.
Of course. Yeah,
that'd be great too. Of course.
Yeah. But so you are right. Like
they fucked it up, and again, even in this series, they got a brilliant strong female character.
Yeah.
Talia.
What?
The girl.
Oh yeah. So Luther's ex-wife. Yeah.
Yeah. Luther's ex-wife.
Yeah. She. Yeah. You're right.
She's fantastic.
They basically made the main character the person you should have had as an even smaller side character.
Yeah.
And had the side character have all the good traits and all of the things you kind of look for. Yeah, exactly. And then,
at the end of the day, Reno is in every single episode.
Reva.
Sorry, I don't even know her name. Like, I don't know the name of the other one either. I'm really bad at Star Wars names unless I make a point to read them. So Reva we see her in every single episode. I should have cared a little bit. I didn't. Obviously,
Jesus.
Is it Tala?
Yeah, Tala. Yeah,
it is Tala.
You knew the side character.
Do you know what? Because it was so close to Talia, I just assumed I was getting it wrong. No, so Tala, when she dies, because it was a spoiler, she dies later on in this. I cared.
Yep.
I'd only seen her for 2 episodes. Yep. She's in 2 episodes, maybe 3.
No, she's in 2. Yeah.
2.5. 2 episodes of the whole thing, and I genuinely. And you know, sometimes when a series does force that kind of like death moment on you, and you're like, I mean, I've only known them 2 episodes. This one, I'm like, oh fuck, she's a great character.
There was more emotion between her and her droid, who they make a point of saying doesn't speak.
Yeah.
Which obviously makes any sort of connection harder.
Yeah. I love that droid.
And it was more emotional when she had to when she was dying and had to, and the robot.
The robot dying
was trying to save her.
I cared more about that robot
than anything that Reva did in this series.
But so you've got that whole scene with her and Owen. I didn't need her and that. I get it that he's broken, but I kind of already got that he's broken from the other scenes. I didn't need a scene of like, oh, but also he doesn't help people.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck this. It's like, I'm like, are you serious? Like, because he can't help people because of that last scene we put in that shouldn't be in it. It's like, oh, okay. Because I really like the idea that even though he's not a Jedi anymore and he's broken, I like the idea he's still Obi-Wan. So he would help people on a very minor level, but he would help people and he'd give his food away and like he'd do the Aladdin thing. Like that's what he would do. But no, you've made it so that he has to be like, oh, he just ignores everyone in case they come find him, because if you do a good deed you're a Jedi. It's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Seriously, the
stakes are quite high for Obi-Wan though, because he, if they find him,
Luke, I know.
Which
but again, I just think there's another way of you can do it without discrediting the character. I didn't like this whole like,
I feel like
he's now a coward. He's always like,
I feel like that's another thing that obviously because of A New Hope you can't get around, is the fact that like, if they find Obi-Wan, but mainly when they're on Tatooine, but if they do find Obi-Wan, that's they're going to find Luke, and obviously that happens in the end.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but it is something that if this situation was real, you know, it's all of the fantastical stuff. More if it was just like, oh, there's someone who is looking after, you know, by proxy through the aunt and uncle of the son of someone very important. You wouldn't live next door. So it's kind of a bit like, oh, I know they've got it in like A New Hope and stuff, but I'm glad that they had this series move off of Tatooine.
Yes,
because
I think it had to.
It had to.
And to be honest,
we just had a full series.
Even if as much as I want it to just be the whole idea is an exclusive series, but there has also already Feige has said that if they want it, if the fans want it enough, they will make another series. But which I kind of before they said it was exclusive, I thought it was.
You said Kevin Feige.
Yeah, is he not in charge? It must have been Favreau.
Yeah, Kevin Feige's in charge of Marvel,
isn't he?
I mean, he's producing a Star Wars movie or series, but he's not nothing to do with it yet.
It must have been Favreau then. Yeah, it would have been Favreau. That guy too, fucking killing it. But it said that if the fans want it enough, he'll make another series. And I'm torn. I'm kind of like, no, I like this. This is okay as it is. But at the same time, you only gave me 2 amazing episodes out of 6, so maybe.
Yeah.
I'm okay. It works because at the end of the day, they've got 10 years to play with. Literally, they've got 10 years. Yeah, 10 years they've got because this is 10 years before, 5 years before the end of Rebels, but 10 years before A New Hope. Because Rebels is in the middle of this and that.
Easier way to think of it, this is when Luke Skywalker is 9, and in A New Hope he's 19.
So 10 years,
10 years.
So they got 10 years to play with.
Let's not bring too much Rebels and stuff into it.
10 years to play with of a guy that people don't know, because Ben Kenobi the Hermit don't know, and if he was or wasn't in his cave, no one would know.
Yeah.
So if you want to start sending him off on like secret missions off world and stuff for series for sake, fucking okay.
Yeah.
Why not? Okay, I'm okay with that. But also, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of them not.
I don't really believe that having 2 really good episodes out of 6, in my mind, really warrants any more.
That's true.
I mean, what I would like is if they did do another series that there's no Darth Vader.
Yes.
As much as I do,
but to be fair, that would make sense now because of honestly those last 2 episodes, it was like I was watching something else.
Yeah,
they were so good. Someone made a point to me actually that they should have just been a movie.
I keep saying that for this, for what we've seen of Miss Marvel. For Disney Plus series, Moon Knight, for Disney Plus series that they keep doing.
Well, there's 2-3 episodes that are unbelievable.
2 good episodes. 2 good or really good episodes.
Yeah.
And not a lot else.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, 2 really good episodes being 30 to 45 minutes each. Then you can mould around it. You can build the rest of the stuff that you need to. You can bake into it for an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Film, you could push the 2.5 hour mark. 3
We
hours.
basically did have an Obi-Wan film.
Yeah.
It was just connected, you know,
in a weird way. But the last, there's just so many good decisions made in those last 2 episodes. So you said the No Vader, the bit where he's like still obsessed, he knows he's alive, still obsessed, and all it took was the Emperor to like shut it off, and it was literally the idea is that's it.
Yeah.
That last bit with Anakin died. When he didn't care about Obi-Wan anymore, and the ship just turns another way. No more Vader. Done.
I don't think I'd be half as hyped for another series.
No, they'd have to win me back a bit
because the wait was so long. Obviously, since 2005, last seeing Ewan McGregor,
and because they disappointed me a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go episode by episode. We'll just talk about it.
Because, as we just said, there's 2 out of 4, and it's just not worth talking about the 4.
Really. It's the introduction of Leia was a bit of a curveball. I think.
I have very mixed feelings about Leia.
Well, you don't like child actors. So
I don't think it's that.
All right, it's not child actors. It's children in media.
In movies, yeah. I don't think it's that.
You find them annoying. I'm just going to put a finer point.
I do find them famously. I don't know why. I think I'd blame Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I blame Lost World, Jurassic Park, I think, and then. But
the Jurassic Park franchise in general has a lot to answer for in terms of that. I feel like they did it with Jurassic World. They were just like, do you know what everyone loved about the other movies is having kids in it? It's like, fuck,
irritating, useless children.
Yeah. Anyway,
not the cool teenage girl in the first one. She was okay.
She was a hacker.
She was pretty cool. She was a hacker, and she took on some raptors. She was cool. No, I don't know. I don't know.
Strong female.
It was a little bit of retconning because this is what I found myself thinking, and it kind of falls into similar the area of the guesswork thing where I'm going to have to look it up. Did Leia ever know Obi-Wan? I was under the impression she knows of him because of Organa, and we know why he knows Organa. Organa knows him.
Yeah.
I was never under the impression that she knew him.
See, I've seen enough evidence for me to kind of gloss over it. Okay. But just because of her reaction to when Luke Skywalker says who he's with when they come to get her on the Death Star, she's very animated. Rather than it being like, oh, you know, like good, but she's very like, oh my god, like Ben Kenobi hasn't seen him in 10 years.
Instantly, that's already swayed me a little bit more the other way.
Yeah.
Because it means that's perfect. Amazing, because she's old enough to know who he is. I love that.
I feel like a lot of people, especially online,
hating on Leia a little bit.
Hating on the fact that Leia's in it because of this fact, because of like they assumed canonically that they hadn't met yet.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay, even if they hadn't, right? There is enough nods in that first movie to suggest.
They have. Yeah, no, absolutely.
One of them being that if you're sending a secret fucking message to someone via a droid, which could get captured by the Empire, I know she says like, help me, basically. But that's not the quote. But anyway, you know, that's not the line.
I can't believe you didn't even just say the quote.
But I'm trying to get to the point.
How often in life do people get the opportunity to say that quote in a good context?
But I'm not going to say it now, just out of principle. What you wouldn't do is say like, you wouldn't be like, oh, we're best friends, you know, like. Yeah. She uses a bit of a code basically, to say you know. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope. Yeah. That's it. That's all she needed to say.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, and then you can tell by her reaction when she does get rescued that she's like, she's glad it's
that
him.
In those few seconds of doing that, I'm like, cool, that's fine. That swayed me. I was on the fence with her anyway. I'm a bit more...
And I'm coming
down from the fence now. I'm like...
If there's just that little...
I'm not on the floor yet, but I'm right here.
If you're just on if you've got those little details, there's no need for you to be aggy about it. There's no need for you to be...
This is the thing, I was not aggy.
Not you, I mean, people...
No, as well. I wasn't aggy. I just found myself drifting with her. Yeah. I don't know if I like the little girl actress.
She was all right.
She was good.
She had an attitude, which Princess Leia does have. But not Princess an attitude. She has a quip. She has sarcasm. Yeah, which is really good.
Because she's a 10-year-old Leia. It makes sense, and it does. And 10-year-old Leia would have been a fucking nightmare.
No, I don't think so.
Leia, based on Leia.
I feel like this is a good representation of her
she would
being a child.
She would have been a bit of in real life.
They show that she's a handful because she goes running off.
She'd have been a handful. That's the word for it. Yeah. You've got to stop calling kids dickheads.
Yes.
You've got to stop calling children
not
under
at all,
the age of 10 dickheads.
Especially in public on a podcast.
Yeah. But yeah. No, yeah, she's a handful. But she does do it well, and I as much as I was like kind of on the fence with her, I fucking love their relationship.
Yeah, that's really good.
It is just so, and it's the subtle moments where neither of them are saying anything. I like this idea of they've lent into she's able to read people sort of thing. Like whether you want to interpret that as a Force thing or just a Leia thing anyway.
Honestly, the one thing I didn't want them to do once they'd introduced Leia is have Leia even slightly
Force sensitive.
Think about using the Force.
Yeah.
I would have been shutting it off. I would have just been like,
I'm sure there's a good explanation of where it is to do with it. Yeah. She's not reading their mind, but reading people. I think.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's a bit of a Leia trait. The idea is I think on a low key level, she does read people and things. So as a 10-year-old, it's going to be a bit more obvious. So I think I like that. I like that like personality trait.
I quite liked it. The introduction of
Lola. If you think about having Lola as a kid, feeds into perfectly why she would trust R2-D2.
I mean, I didn't like the droid because it's literally a Mickey Mouse symbol.
Oh yeah.
Fucking hell, it's so on that.
I mean, they haven't got that for much longer anyway, so it's okay.
Oh my god! But here's the thing. I liked the introduction of. I liked having Leia in the series.
Yeah.
I liked the actress who portrayed Leia. I thought she was really good.
She did a good job.
It's just her introduction and how they got her. I feel like the one thing that I kind of hated about that was kind of adjacent to her character is how she got away from the adults in the chase.
Every time she's being chased.
Fucking hell.
I reckon they must have done so many takes and just gave up. That's my only logical explanation.
Yeah.
She couldn't. People were trying to do a chase scene with her, and she was just useless at it. I don't know.
I don't think it was her. I feel like you're on the set and you're given choreography of like this chase that's happening, and the choreography is just terrible.
But she weren't running.
The choreography is just she's running away, and an adult could just catch her.
Yeah,
okay, go under this tree branch. It's a tree branch that's like mid height.
I might have to watch it again, but in my memory, there was one point where it's one of those plants that kind of tilts to the side.
Yeah, it is. It was.
Just doesn't walk through it.
Yep. It was a woman chasing her, like alien species.
Yeah.
And she just doesn't duck under the tree to continue chasing her. She's like, damn, she got away.
It's just a plant she could have walked through, and they just kind of don't. And even later on, when Obi-Wan's catching her, he's a fucking Jedi.
Same thing in the third episode, where they're on that city planet. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And honestly, the chase is just like you'd be able to just jog and just pick her up.
Because even she isn't running at a... Kids can run. A 10-year-old
she's just
can
waddling.
Run when it wants to. She's just doing the little, like... She's running like a 4 or 5-year-old run, but she's 10. A 10-year-old can fucking go if they want to. And, like, she's just got, like...
She is doing like a toddler waddle, isn't it?
Yeah, the toddler waddle where she runs. I'm like, what are you doing? You can run.
Oh, it's just terrible. That's just terrible directing, I think.
Honestly. But that is probably the biggest gripe, with the Leia thing. But it is more than made up for. But unfortunately, there's some good... It's a bit like the prequels, I guess, I think. There's some little gems in each of these bits, but it's just a bit... I've got some pedantic... Like, there's my really, like, critical pedantic mind kicked in for, like, silly detail. Like, the end of the first episode, he walks up... His robe could not be more of a Jedi robe.
That's true.
And I looked around in the crowd. I purposely, as I saw it, I went, oh, maybe it's just a... No, I've seen... There's some other people in hoods... That is a Jedi robe.
Yeah.
He's wearing a Jedi robe, and he accidentally just flashed his lightsaber that he's just wearing where you would wear your lightsaber, not tucked away in his robe or in his robes or something like that. It's all these different places he could tuck it.
He would hide it.
He accidentally flashes it, and he's trying to hide being a Jedi. You're like, come on, mate.
It's really awkward
but
well.
It's representation. I know what they're doing.
No. It's really awkward because, like you said, at the end of that episode, he's getting on like a transport to go off-world, and... Like most people in Tatooine would have heard that, like the Empire sent some Inquisitors. They would have they've sent Inquisitors to look for a Jedi, and then like you said, as he's getting on the ship, he just always like, oh, got to get this out my pocket, and like it's exactly the same kind of shot as when Anakin sees the lightsaber of Qui-Gon Jinn. It's like a mid close up of the lightsaber, and I'm just like. Just hide it. Like, just have it in a box. Just take the box with you.
A bag.
Yeah.
Carry a bag with you.
Just a little tote bag.
You're going to need a bag. We need something like snacks.
Just a tote bag with snacks that says I am not a Jedi on the side. Just to be real and conspicuous. But it was such a terrible thing. Yeah. You say pedantic, but
he literally looks like a Jedi.
You say pedantic, but I say like. If there was any intelligence in this universe, they would know. Then you just giving yourself away. And I'm like, you're supposed to be Obi-Wan Kenobi, who was like a Jedi, like one of the most intelligent generals in the Clone Wars, XYZ, all this blah blah blah. You literally just gave the game away within a day of taking this lightsaber you've had hidden out of the box. Such a dumb move for a fucking shot.
The bit where they're sitting on the barge, the back of the truck.
Yeah.
Some really nice bits between it because I really love the way the naturalness of them talking about her mum and like that. The way because the stormtroopers, of course, they're questioning him.
Yeah.
He fucks up.
Yep.
But then picks it up, that sort of thing, and like it's like and it does lead into some brilliant natural dialogue. But the whole time I'm like, motherfuckers, you're looking for a Jedi. Yeah.
Yep.
There's a Jedi sitting in front of you.
He's just got Jedi robes.
Look at his clothes.
Oh my god!
Like, just what more are you looking for?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I feel.
He wore that robe.
I can't. Yeah, I mean.
And then later on, they even made the point where he trades it for a Jedi robe. I'm like, why? He was wearing one.
Oh god.
He just wanted to go sleeveless.
Yeah. It was. It was. Certain bits, especially in the first 3 episodes.
Episode 3, though, there are some good bits to it. Obviously, though, we had the first interaction with him and Vader, even if it's the low-budget quarry. That was there's some good elements to that. Tala coming into her whole storyline, that whole bit where they're in the bunker, some lovely nods there. Like, the fact that Quinlan Vos was even mentioned, that's a very niche. That's a niche. Yeah. We only know who he is.
We know it's Star Wars, so they're able to make these niche quotes because it's the universe in which
he
they
is
live.
Also in lore before this one of the ones that's still alive. That's not where we find out. He got away and he's hiding somewhere. So the fact he's been through their fits, we only know who he is because Sam bought a comic of him. Years ago. We went, this guy looks fucking cool, and then he shows up in Clone Wars, and it's the only reason I've even registered him over with the other Jedi because he's got an interesting backstory to him. But
he's mentioned, and obviously it's like. You only get it if you are like a big Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm not being gatekeeper here. I'm being like, it's so niche that you'd have to have seen one of these comics or like Clone Wars again, but like not everyone's seen it.
Or just gone. To be honest, the reason I know a lot about him, so literally the day before it, went on and read a bio about him.
So
it's caught up on his bio, like
So it's like these little nods are nice, but they're not like all the time, or they're not like they're dragging you down a path that you're kind of like, seems a bit like it's going off track, It's just kind of like nice nods, like some of I only really recognize one character from when Obi-Wan goes to the Castle Inquisitor. I don't know what it's really called, the Inquisitor Fortress, and he's
Fallen Order, isn't it?
No. You know where Obi-Wan goes into to get Leia from the Castle Inquisitorius or whatever it's called.
Yeah, the I don't know what you call it, cemetery, graveyard.
He called it a tomb.
Tomb.
Yeah, but it's literally where they're keeping all of the half-alive /
Was it the old man? The old man.
Yes,
with the long face.
Yeah. See, I didn't really recognise anyone else. I don't know if they're even really named Jedi.
So this is one thing I sort of clicked the other day. But the boy with the little boy with the helmet thing on,
right?
Is that the one that comes up to him and says, "Are you going to protect us?" And then he kills him?
No.
Okay.
Because
he's not wearing a helmet.
Also, he cuts him down straight away. It's got to be guaranteed.
Oh yeah, there's no way that. What was that? What was the idea? Are they dead and he's preserved them, or
I guess so,
or preservation?
I have no idea. Well, maybe you'll find out. I was thinking that maybe it's something to do with the fact that they've kept them has got something to do with the experiments that the Empire do on Grogu in Mandalorian. Because it's all about cloning. It's all about testing midichlorians and shit like that.
Is there a theory that Grogu is a clone of Yoda?
Maybe, but I feel like, when he obviously in Mandalorian season 2 they go to the facility that they destroy. I feel like that has some connection to this.
Cool. Okay.
Cool. Just a theory at this point.
I like it. Yeah.
But they're both kind of not throwaway angles. They're more just like they're part of the story. But it's just like they're connected because they were kept. And then the Empire experimented on them, and then that's where this facility that Mandalorian and the ragtag gang takedown.
That was a dark scene.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
like
it was.
That was a
dark,
tone shift.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
Like where he comes in. I think it's where you're going along and you're like, okay, some frozen adult, and then the little boy.
Yeah, some kids.
That's like the signature youngling.
Yeah,
with the hair on, and you're like, oh shit.
Well, in the background, like I saw this from when they were, like you just see stuff online.
Yeah.
But like in the main Inquisitor's room, they have like all of the trinkets from like different Jedi that they've killed.
Oh, so yeah.
And like a lot of them are from like younglings, and it's just like, Jesus. That's some dark stuff.
Because he picks up what's it? Who is it? In one of them, he starts to grab. No, is that this? I'm getting mixed up with something else. I might be getting mixed up with something else. But yeah.
Yeah, really dark.
No, I'm getting mixed up with never mind. Yeah, no, but yeah, it's a bit fucked up. It's just fucked up. See, just a bit of a tone shift. But yeah, again, the stories involving Tala, very good. Like that kind of like that. Like her scene, like the way she comes to the Emperor, the really incompetent, like head of the, where she's going into the Inquisitor.
Yes.
And she managed to do the trope. Well, I'll tell your superior.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
because they've never been trained against it. And honestly, at this point, I don't think the Empire. Really think the Empire's training needs a bit of
the Empire. The Empire are to blame for their own downfall.
Honestly, they're just
because their training is incompetent. And honestly, it's never.
If you think of Rogue One,
yeah,
you forced one of the smartest men in the world to create your super weapon, and then were shocked when he stuck a fucking trap inside it.
Well, a massive back door.
You literally killed his wife, drove away his daughter, and then forced him to make a thing when he's a good man, and you didn't even think to keep an eye on him.
I know this sounds like really kind of lame, but in Rogue One, no one checked on his homework. They were just like, oh, it's complete. They see the big dish for the weapon going, and they're like, it's finished.
Yeah,
don't want to get anyone to like survey that bad boy. See if there's any faults, any just the exhaust ports that are like really small. If you shoot something like a torpedo, which is there's prevalent people who want to kill you out there, have probably got a stockpile of. You thought, let's not double check that.
Imagine that's how that survey went. It's like, fucking impenetrable. Absolutely. Yeah. There is a chimney that seems to go just all the way through the whole thing and to the power reactor. I don't know why the power reactor would need a chimney. Maybe that's worth looking over. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Or they did most of it, and then they were like, oh god, like deadline is kind of today. Shall we just forget the last 200 square miles? Yeah, I think we'll be all right. So that's terrible. But with Obi-Wan, when they're in the castle Inquisitor, it's like there's just like Imperials like walking around and just like being incompetent. And then there's just there's no security anywhere.
No.
Like Obi-Wan is able to go from like one corridor which has got one guard near the port which just
still
connects
not entirely sure he did to knock him out. The one thing I don't think, how are stormtroopers getting knocked out?
They've got armor on it. I don't understand. It's terrible, isn't it?
They keep getting knocked out, but you see them get a bludgeoning hit to their head, and they're out.
Yeah, Talia
and
literally.
I even assume being choked out.
She just whacks one.
Yeah,
brushes the front of the helmet. And he goes flying. I'm just that's
even I've
terrible.
seen the part where they get behind him and choke him. I assume this bit's armoured, right? Like even the neck piece must have some sort of thick leather
for manoeuvrability. I don't know.
But some sort of I don't know.
Not getting into the semantics of stormtrooper armour,
but honestly, just the Empire needs to really sort themselves out.
Hey, to sort themselves out because one day someone's going to come and blow up their big big space station. Maybe not once, but twice. So. They're like, we'll let someone destroy our super weapon, cost trillions and trillions of credits, and we'll do it again.
They can't even hit anything with their shots.
No, it's absolutely useless. They might as well just not have any.
Have you heard the theory that they were being told to not hit because the Emperor didn't want Luke or that to die because the whole big plan? It's
but that doesn't explain every other Star Wars piece of media. Doesn't explain.
Clones were like this.
Yeah.
And when you watch Bad Batch, it's so funny to watch Bad Batch where they're like the whole like General Tarkin comes in and goes, "I don't want the clones anymore. I want men and people I'm going to hire." You're like, fucking big mistake, mate.
Yeah, I was going to say, your downfall.
Oh, all right.
You're the one who's going to die in a big explosion.
You guys are programmed a good shot. You're normal men.
Yeah,
fuck
gonna train
on.
them. Anyway, with the ineptitude of just this, really, they're just like it's crazy. It's be a crazy idea for anyone to get anywhere near that thing because it'd be crazy because they're just the Inquisitors. There's just so many Imperials, and Obi-Wan literally just splashes down and swims up her fucking pipe.
Yeah,
and it's just like, and all of the corridors have like no security, and it's just he was just able to wander around.
And even again, going a bit pedantic stuff like that, especially because direct comparison to Attack of the Clones.
Yeah,
he was nowhere near as wet as he should have been.
I know. Yeah, totally.
And I was a bit like, are they like?
Yeah. Did he blow dry his hair?
Honestly, like he was like so dry, and his hair, like, especially because I was expecting like, oh, it's good. Do you know what made me notice it? I was thinking it was going to be almost like not a callback, but kind of like a reflect, like, because in Attack of the Clones, he's absolutely soaked. His hair's like backed up like that. It's going to be a bit of like, we're going to see sort of like, it's not a callback, but it's like his hair's wet again and that sort of shit. And I don't know why, it just kind of, my mind put the two things together. And then he wasn't, and I was like,
it was raining in one scene, and he was swimming in another.
Yeah, but he was soaked.
Yes,
he was wetter in Attack of the Clones.
All very. This, I don't know how. What?
Just honestly, I just was a bit like, oh, he dried off quick.
Yeah, they've definitely got a station in there where, again, still unmanned, where it's just like, just one of those big arch machines that just like that dries you. You know, you get them at like swimming pools, posh ones.
Just one of those. Yeah.
It's one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but like you say, just managed to sneak and just by doing the whole like turn a corner, oops.
Yeah,
and nobody clocked.
Or just the architecture of inside is just like they've got like little alcoves down a corridor, so like it's just the right amount of size. It's just the right size for a person to just be hiding behind.
Or even the Seeker droids apparently rely completely on visual sight, like a human.
Blind.
They have no have no infrared. They can't pick up body heat or do anything useful. They are completely based on one directional thing. You can literally have an eye on them that is impossible. But no, the eye has to be facing the right way, and it will look through a door for you. Yeah. Or have no idea you're there because of infrared or anything.
No, the security team needs firing. So
the security design team.
It's absolutely terrible. And also in that same episode, you had the trope of. You're about to torture someone, and then someone comes in and goes like, "I think you're going to want to see this," and just stops and just doesn't be like, "I'll be there in like 2 seconds." I'm just going to absolutely murder this child for information. This is the most
important thing in the world anymore. No. You just told me that someone needs to say something. Yeah. But even the other gripe with that scene is the way that's the first time they're trying to all of a sudden hint that Reva's like, "I don't want to do this. You're making me do this," and I'm like,
"What do you mean? She's a child.
You've just been badgering her for the last.
I know, right?
You've done some pretty awful stuff. You don't need to go back on yourself. I'm completely believing that you're going to torture this child.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. Reva's quote unquote redemption, or like reveal that she's trying to kill Anakin, is completely undone by the fact that she was going to torture a child.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not a good person, and like I want you to not survive this series.
Yeah.
Like you're nonsensical, like one-dimensional. Like your character trait is shouting.
Yeah.
And
let's go really intensely after people for no reason.
You made me do this, you 9-year-old who doesn't actually have all of the information that I actually need. So I'm going to torture you unless I get interrupted at the last second. Because honestly, there is no way that Disney's going to actually have a scene about torturing kids. Like the furthest that Disney is going to go with Star Wars is allow protagonists to die.
Yeah.
Because, they did that in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, is still a step further than they would allow the MCU because they just keep bringing motherfuckers back from the dead. So it's a little bit like... It's a little bit like, right, I can see what they wanted to do, but at every single step, they did something either obvious or just nonsensical.
Yeah.
That I'm just like, right, okay,
that's the point.
It's something you saw coming, you know, or they hinted at it as like, oh, yeah, she, you know, the first scene is, I think it's like one alien youngling, one guy youngling, and, you know, a African American youngling, and I was just like, okay, that's her. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, literally. Come on, like we've seen so many films and TV.
Yeah, it's true.
That this stuff is like burned into your brain.
I little that I didn't even do that. I didn't clock that. I forgot the who.
Well, obviously you'd seen that. You'd seen in like promotional stuff that Reva, you know, Reva's black, and then you're just like, okay, the first scene is there's a little kid in Order 66 who's black, and there's another kid and an alien kid, and they're trying to escape, and they see Anakin Skywalker. Yeah, and I'm just like, the dots are right there. I'm not saying it should be. I'm just saying when I saw that scene, I was like, well, that one's either Reva or it's just huge coincidence. There's no middle. There's one of the two. Yeah, which that's it. But I'm like, it's storytelling 101 for it to be her. Yeah. So I was a little bit like, okay.
So did you about that?
I didn't know what they were going to exactly do with it. I just was like, okay, one and one makes two.
Her. You knew that was her. Yeah. So especially she's the only Inquisitor that doesn't seem to have been mutated in some way, just to make it really fucking obvious that it's her. Yeah. Could have like had it so that we weren't even aware she was even black anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like that kind of like shit, because that's what the Inquisitors have been like.
They're different races, or they're mutated, or
exactly.
Something's happened to them. They've been tortured.
Yeah, exactly. So you wouldn't even like necessarily. Yeah, it could have been. She could have been like so masked up that you wouldn't. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You have to cover it, but it could have made it less obvious. But
something that would have made it less obvious is if they'd had her in a suit that's like, maybe not so much like this, because his suit is like Darth Vader, but in the Force Unleashed games, you know, the alternate timeline where Starkiller goes evil.
Yeah,
he has like a suit.
Yeah,
and it's like all encompassing.
Jedi Hunter, isn't it? Or something like that. The Jedi Hunter.
So if they'd had her in something like that, it doesn't have to be even full face, because obviously you want the for the emotion and stuff like that. It's hard with masks on. So I would understand.
Like, ironically, it would have made no difference to her.
To be fair, you're right. Like there wasn't much emotion really going on, except for anger.
The voice maybe could have been more impressive when she shouted.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. If it'd been modulated, so you know, if they'd done something to hide that fact, it would have made it a little less obvious where they were going with it. Yeah. And you could they were throwing hints out there, so you know they're leaving breadcrumbs as you would in a story like this. But there was just nothing. I was just like, you were so like you were just so kind of pointless. I'd rather them just had like the Grand Inquisitor in it.
She has one, and it's not even necessarily down to her, but one relevant thing where I was like, I guess the best thing that happens with her in this is, and it's not a lightsaber fight, is when Vader is picking her apart. Yeah. One of my favourite Star Wars scenes ever now.
It's a good fight, I think.
A fight?
Because it was one-sided.
It's not even a fight. It is honestly, it's peak Vader. That and Vader in Rogue One. They're just like, there's no battle. It's just a complete display of this character and icon that we know is the like epitome of like the villain.
He's
like,
he is the villain. Yeah.
One of the most powerful, best super villains ever to be invented. And we're just seeing it like, and that over the years, maybe others have come out and like people are like, oh no, does he still stand the test of time? It's like, fucking yes, he does. Watch this scene.
Yeah, a lot of people have said,
fuck, sir.
A lot of people have said like Thanos is our generation's Darth Vader, and I'm just like, nah, Darth Vader's Darth Vader.
Darth Vader, there is no other. And whenever you start, the face starts to dwindle, we get a scene like this, and you're just like, you realise like, holy shit, because obviously it was a bit in the old ways, it was a bit he couldn't move as much and stuff like that. And you're like, what was the scary thing about this guy? It's like, it's the presence, and there is even in that in A New Hope, when he steps onto that deck that first time, even every time you watch it, there is a presence. Yeah. And it's the way it does, and it's very much like you get it in this, and I love that scene. But that is the best thing. It didn't need to be her. It could have been anyone, or just a better actress. I think the character could have maybe been okay. I think it's very similar. They've done it where they've made a bit of a poor choice.
I just don't think she was really given that much to go on. I don't even think it was the. I don't think it was.
Exactly. I'm not writing up. Chances are she could actually be quite good. I think it was her. Yeah.
I feel like it was just they didn't make the character more than one dimension.
No, it's not really, which is ridiculous because it's literally the driving force.
Yeah.
Like if they'd added more depth to this character, there'd have been the debate of like who's the main character, Obi-Wan or well, in fact, one of the people's gripes with this.
Yeah.
It's like we're watching the Obi-Wan series. It's not even about Obi-Wan. It's about this shit character. But yeah,
unfortunately so.
Why not write it three-dimensional? You brought in character. There were passing characters that were in like an episode, 2 episode that had more depth to them than your seemingly driving force secondary character, third after Leia, if you want to go that way. But like, yeah, it was bizarre, really bizarre.
Let's talk about the positives. I liked the fight. Not the first one, obviously. The one in the quarry was kind of cringy.
It was a bit cringy and a bit, yeah.
And also,
didn't he just put the fire out again.
Also, yeah, he Darth Vader uses his powers he uses the Force to burn Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan is like not charred at all. No, I know they're like always burn, but honestly, he looks like
he was on that fire for a while.
Yeah.
And he didn't catch fire. No. Anakin caught fire a lot quicker.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, lava and whatever, but still.
So, yeah, I thought the first fight was a little bit terrible. But
and why didn't he put the fire out again?
What do you mean?
So he sets the fire.
Yeah.
Burns him.
Yeah.
She then shoots the thing and starts the fire again.
Yeah.
To block them off. And Vader doesn't just go... Poof, because the first time that stops him, it's Vader that stops him burning. Because he just puts the fire out. He doesn't do it again.
No, I kind of blocked it from my memory.
He expended his spell slot.
Because the second one was actually really good.
Incredible.
The one in the last episode.
Loved it.
So
did you? Sorry, I got the feeling earlier when I say it was really, really good that you were a bit like meh.
Yeah, it was really good. Nowhere close to the one in episode 3.
Okay.
Just because the choreography for the lightsaber fight in episode 3 is like unmatched.
I feel like they both brought that experience to this fight.
Yeah, but I don't think it was as good. Like really even that close. I feel like in terms of ranking, I'd say for myself it would probably be episode 3, episode 1, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and then this.
Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
Not Empire. You did say Empire Strikes Back, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was really good. But honestly, it's, I couldn't put it up there with the Phantom Menace because that's our thing. Is the prequels. No, we believe like that's our better, choreography, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely,
I think a lot of people would say that anyway.
Yeah.
But I feel like, honestly, Phantom Menace is great. And only pipped to the top by episode 3 because of how much choreography goes into it
and what work and stuff,
and the fact that it's Anakin versus Obi-Wan.
That's the thing I will say. As much as we've had like come down on Hayden Christensen a little bit, the guy can fucking lightsaber.
100%, he's great.
Like, him and Ewan McGregor, their style of lightsaber fighting is. I realised in this again as well with Ewan McGregor. Just watching him lightsaber fight, that is a guy who enjoys.
Yeah.
But is good at it too, and they're both like sending in their own little finesses and stuff. Even as Vader, Hayden Christensen was managed to throw in some finesse a little bit there and there. It was like, and another good. We get a little bit of a Anakin Obi-Wan fight, don't we? It's a shame you don't see it all in linear. That would have been quite cool.
That was good.
That was a little the cutback thing, and why wasn't that throughout the whole series?
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't have to be a lightsaber. I don't want that scene to go on the whole series.
Yeah,
I mean, lots of little scenes like that really build the bond that we never got to see.
Yeah,
on live action. So obviously we've seen it now in Clone Wars, but
I thought they were going to have scenes like that when he went into the Bacta tank. Like they did in Book of Boba Fett.
That would have been so good. Or even Boba Fett, they've established it. It would have fit.
There was.
I think jumping back to him with long hair when it's short, like that sort of like the way they did it would have been absolutely fine. That would have been well good.
I feel like the
You just got a few episodes out of that.
I feel like
have an entire episode of a flashback.
The fact that we were having Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor back, the fact that they didn't do any Clone Wars flashbacks was a missed opportunity.
Absolutely, yeah.
It was good that they had this,
yeah,
which was really good,
really good, and that scene is really good.
Yeah, having it over the series, having Obi-Wan thinking back to.
You could have had the scenes kick in from end of episode 2 where he finds out that Anakin's alive. 3 onwards, you could have just had. But you could have even got it before. But I mean, like, it would have made a bit more sense storytelling wise. He starts thinking back on.
I mean, it would reinforce the notion that when Alec Guinness is talking to Luke Skywalker in A New Hope. When have you seen it where? Someone's done an edit of him thinking back to like episode 2 and episode 3, where he's like having not flashbacks, but he's having like a bit of like he's just thinking, recalling it, basically having a bit of PTSD. That's it. I think the video is called Obi-Wan Has PTSD. I feel like that could have been reinforced here. With having flashbacks throughout this series. There's so many opportunities to do it. They missed quite a bit of opportunities, and honestly, it's Disney's MO. To do that. To have home runs in the palm of their hand because they're doing these shows. It's a little bit fan servicey, but it's also could be used for good narrative purposes. Which is the best. They don't do it. And I'm just like, you've done it with certain things in MCU where people have been like, oh, that'd be a good idea. I think like that would, and because it looks like with certain casting and with certain rumors and stuff like that, you're like, oh, if they do that, that'd be an absolute home run of an idea. And they just don't do it.
It's bizarre.
I feel like this is the biggest one because there's so many fans of the Clone Wars that. I mean, they're just kind of clamoring for more content of it. But mainly because of how good the last series was and how good it is, like especially over time, the later it gets on, it gets better, and you're just like, okay, I'd love to see that in live action just once.
Good. Just would have been incredible.
And you're just like, and all they
You've
needed.
just paid them both to be there. There was so much. We said this. We just said there's 2 episodes out of 4. Easily replaced one of those episodes with an entire flashback. If you wanted to.
Because I mean,
you could have like teased it, and then the Back to Tank one, he's in a Back to Tank, and then also with the Back to Tank episode, you move the episode where where they break into the thing. You move the Back to Tank one back a bit. So he's actually in the Back to Tank for a believable amount of time. I know there's a lot of time passed, but we don't feel it. He goes in and he's out again. Well,
you've just had a TV show that shows that
it takes ages.
You have to go in and out to completely heal with the Book of Boba Fett.
Ages.
And in this one, they're just like,
I know he's a Jedi.
Drop him in and out.
He healed himself to a certain amount, and he was protected by the Force and stuff. But still, for your sake of your storytelling, you could have had him in that Back to Tank for ages, firing about, and then just like cutting to. They even done the thing where him and Anakin was in his permanent one. I mean, you could have had it so you were jumping between
the two of them.
The two of them were having this like almost like, you could even, if you wanted to write it in, they were having a joint vision because they were at this point connected. It's just like,
they left so many ideas by the wayside, and
we just came up with that in 2 minutes.
What they had instead was just quite a bit of filler.
A lot of first drafts.
To
quote you.
Holy shit, a lot of
so many things in this where they got to a point they were like, oh, we need this to happen, but the only way we can happen is with that. Maybe we should go back and rewrite some of it to make it work. We're done. We're good. No. Move on.
But yeah, the good bits. I still liked some of the bits with Leia. Mainly just their conversation and their rapport,
the relationship and stuff. Yeah, they had a good back and forth, and it did, and it genuinely does feed, and especially what you just said now, feed and build up into the Leia Obi-Wan relationship thing. Because you think they never even meet in the things.
Obi-Wan is especially so. Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan is just really fucking watchable.
Yeah.
So even when
he's been a bit brooding,
even with the worries and the concern about like what this show would be like, especially will it just be a Reva series? I still think it was good enough that it was. It had enough good bits that it was an Obi-Wan series.
Yes,
a lot of people who are just going to complain because certain reasons.
Yes.
Rather than valid criticism would complain about these things. So,
yeah.
But I feel like they had enough Obi-Wan and drive for Obi-Wan's character for it to. It is an Obi-Wan series.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Ewan McGregor, he's too watchable as Obi-Wan. The only glimmer of hope I would have for a second season is because it's just Ewan McGregor.
Yeah, and he just steps back into it.
Yeah, and I don't particularly think I don't think it was like visually stunning or.
Well, no, he said those points of it looked a little bit low budget.
Little bit low budget.
They saved a lot of their budget for those last 2 episodes.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I feel like it was.
Which might have been better off doing a film for that reason in itself.
Yeah, it was. I feel like it was just kind of dragged up from the bottom by a little bit of fat, a little bit. No, not a little bit. I'd say just the right amount of fan service with good action. With the duel in the last episode, and good kind of because we're like fans. I feel like knowing more lore is always like the case, because you're always going to get it because it's a show and it's just going to be there. But I feel like this was enough that I was like satisfied with certain aspects.
Yeah.
Enough so that I didn't dislike the series.
No, I didn't. I don't think I disliked it. I've never even talking negatively of it. I was just sort of like.
It was a missed opportunity.
A lot of missed opportunities, and I'm sitting there. Even I was like, George put on the first episode, got 40 minutes in, and went, "This is boring."
Yeah.
And I remember being at that point in the first episode. I watched it just because it was Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
If this had been a random series or something, I'd have turned it off or not watched anymore. I was like, this is boring. Yeah. I was watching it because it was Obi-Wan, and it is boring. Mm-hmm. Like those first couple of episodes, there's some nice bits in them and a bit of fan servicing, and it's Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just enjoy, and I can just watch Ewan McGregor doing his thing. Yeah. But
they're lucky.
So boring.
Disney are lucky that that's the case. Lucky.
But it was just boring as fuck until episode 3. It starts to get a bit more interesting.
Yeah. 4, 5, 6.
4, 5, and then 4, 5 and 6 are just absolutely
something
insane.
else.
And then 6 is just peaks it.
Yeah.
They really did, and it's just disappointing. It's like, oh, so you can do it. It's not nothing to do with your capability. You can do it. You almost chose not to.
And we said this. I don't know if we said it in the podcast, but you said this where like pilots for series don't exist anymore because of streaming service,
and it's.
They just get greenlit, and that is the problem. Because if someone had been like, "We're making an Obi-Wan Kenobi series," and you've been like, "Oh, like holy shit, like that's great," God, Obi-Wan Kenobi, like one of the most, one of the most famous sci-fi characters of all time, and then you imagine that is like the thing that you show to the executives. You show that first episode, they'd just be like, "Well, you fucked that, didn't you?" So can't shutting this shit down. And that you'd be like, "But it's Obi-Wan Kenobi." It's like, well, then don't make shit. Don't make boring shit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It was just I can see people. So we're huge Star Wars fans. That's obviously the case.
Yeah.
But I feel like people who just enjoy Star Wars can just put on Solo, who just like Rogue One, or just I've seen 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I've seen 4, 5, 6. Went to the cinema to see the others because it's Star Wars and it's big and it's And those people, if I was in their shoes, I'd sit down to watch Obi-Wan, and I'd probably watch the first 2 episodes and I wouldn't finish it.
That's George, but he did 40 minutes. George loves the films. George loves Star Wars. So he grew up. He's one of George's favorite characters is Qui-Gon Jinn. Yeah, of all time, he absolutely loves Qui-Gon Jinn. But he
didn't get to the bit where he sees him at the end.
Didn't even get to fucking see him.
Yeah,
because 40 minutes in he was bored, and I wasn't even like something where I'm a bit like WandaVision, where I'm like, but the intrigue. But he's not the only one. Everyone says that the first episodes are awful. I'm like, the intrigue. I have no argument for them. I'm like, I just went.
There's the difference between WandaVision and Obi-Wan, and that's the difference in style, which keeps you kind of like locked into what's going to happen next.
What the fuck's happening here?
Whereas
Obi-Wan is just boring.
Oh, Obi-Wan does not have that.
I had no argument. But when he said it, I went, yeah, I thought that would happen.
It has you bored, And then it has you like annoyed because you're just the nonsensicalness of Reva's character, especially in the first 4 episodes. And honestly, I'm going to get to, just going to talk, we're going to have to get some ratings at some point. But I think one of the things which just had me baffled, absolutely baffled, was she goes and she tracks down Luke Skywalker. She knows who Anakin is. That's her whole thing. She knows Anakin is Darth Vader.
How?
She's the youngling. She sees him killing people.
But how does that make?
Because he's Darth Vader when he's doing that.
And in some way, I guess you could sense, I guess, because she's a Jedi.
Do you know what I mean? But the main thing, like regardless of how she knows the identity, is that she tracks down Luke Skywalker because she sees a message from Bail about the children and like, is he Tatooine? X, Y, Z. Like that's not important at this point.
And she knew Owen by this point because of that scene where
she
just decided to pick out a random farmer.
Yeah, she picks out a random farmer. Like I don't care about the connection there. Yeah. She hunts down Owen's farm, which is again that's fine. I'm okay up to this point really. And she tries to get Luke. She just tries to capture him. And the resolution of this is she just gives up.
Yeah.
Because she just gives up.
Yeah.
Because I guess she realises that she could be a good person, or
I told you they'd do it.
Even though she's a person who was about to torture a child.
Yeah, and kill one. Or
capture
one at least. Yep.
And I'm just like, that's just
and
shit.
Has killed plenty of people.
That's just terrible.
I told you they'd do it.
Yeah.
I said at the beginning they're going to do it, and it was absolute bollocks. I'm really annoyed that he let her live. I get why he let her live.
She's trying to get Luke.
He did let her live, didn't he?
She's trying to get Luke at the farm, at Owen's farm. Luke runs off into the fucking, what do you call it? Like a canyon, I guess. Sorry, that's the only way I could probably describe it.
Yeah.
And he's running away and she's running after him. And then he comes out the other side of the canyon, back towards the farm. And Obi-Wan's there now because he flies and he goes exactly to the as fast as he can from his fight with Vader. Fair enough.
He Neo flies there in a ship.
All of that I can kind of just gloss over. She just gives up.
Yeah.
She just gives up. The whole ending of this series, which has had, if I want to be kind to it, right? If I want to be kind to it, if I'm on the side of the filmmakers, is like they're doing a build. Yeah. They're doing a build. Like it's a slow build, but they're doing a build.
But the whole point of this series is there is no build. It's supposed to be a one-off exclusive.
Yeah,
series.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true. They're a little bit like
There's no confirmed season 2.
They're a bit fucking rich with their time. They're like, yeah, we can just pad this out, and I'm just like, pad what out? You've got 6 fucking episodes. Get to it, like, and then this resolution is just like a balloon just deflating in real time. It's just like nothing. It's just that's it. We got to wrap it up. Like she gives up.
What they should have done, and it's honestly a better death. Even though we didn't really care about her, it still could have actually been a good drama death. Is he had to get like one of those scenes where he has to kill her.
No,
and even if he's she's not going to stop. And in the
moment
he kills her, and he's literally cradling her, and she's like, by killing her, it's like it's sort of like she's almost grateful because she knows she wouldn't have been able to stop.
It's honestly just the exact same death as Luke with Darth Vader. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Or not? Yeah, no, it's
not exactly the same.
No, because he turned good. But no, I literally mean she. In this thing that is based on that hate can drive you. Against your own, against your own.
If they'd done that, you'd be like, "There's a theme for Reva here, and the theme of her character is hatred, like overrunning everything that you are." And then I'd be like,
the Star Wars universe,
even though it wasn't great, it had a point.
Yeah, and it still fits.
And I'd just be like, okay, even if it's like kind of a bit.
It would have even been in tune with how he beat Anakin, literally going stop, and her like, I'm not going to stop. You want me to stop? I'm going to kill him.
Yeah,
I will not ever stop. And then just going, and he just has to.
Would just make
give it the high ground. Really go all in.
It would really make Obi-Wan's character even more tragic than it already is.
Yeah,
where he's just like, I can't stop ultimately killing people.
Yeah.
Because they just won't stop.
Yeah.
They won't. That the only choices are let a child die. Or have to kill again, and it's against Jedi ways to do so.
But it's not even against their ways to kill, though, is it? It's they're allowed.
I know it's just protection, but whatever. Like it's
Mace
just
Windu kills Jango.
it would just make
it
more tragedy for the character of Obi-Wan. That's already
okay
quite
with
tragic.
it.
Yeah, no, same.
Oh yeah. I would have added more.
But it's Disney.
She would have served a purpose.
Yeah, but it's Disney, so none of that can happen. It has to be sterile.
Talked down.
It has to be sterile, and it has to be.
Balloon.
There can't be any consequences, or there can't be any real conflicts. It just has to be. It can't be that bad either. It has to. We're still here to sell toys at the end of the day, and sell subscriptions.
Should sell more, but honestly,
she gave up, and that was the end of the story.
Yeah,
I feel like
now
I'm about
she's still alive.
Yeah. Loads of people get stabbed and still alive. I know Darth Maul got cut in half.
She got stabbed twice.
That's true.
In the same way and still alive. Because I didn't realise that until the second watch. Like, Vader stabbed her. And she's still alive.
Yeah.
In Jedi lore, you can hold yourself alive from hatred. Anakin did it. There's a Sith Lord in Old Republic. And the idea is hatred. Maul did it. You can keep yourself alive with hatred. It's all there.
Yeah.
And they still just like, ugh. But any scenes with Vader were great.
Yeah,
I don't think there was any bad set.
Always is.
One of the best gear up scene, Vader being dressed scenes ever.
Yeah,
because we've obviously seen the turning of the famous scene anyway of the turning, and we see the helmet go down. Yeah. It's so, oh fuck.
Yeah,
because I think that's
first time you see
Empire Strikes Back, right? Isn't
it? Yeah.
So even from this bodyguard from number one, or this sort of like. Not top henchman, but he's not the big bad in the first one. Tarkin is. He is the enforcer. And then we see this guy like then getting the helmet, and that's kind of like oh shit, there's a man underneath, that sort of thing. Like that's cool. And then to do the elaborate, really use the technology of the time and stuff, absolutely beautiful, brilliant scene, dressed it like that. Anytime Vader talking about that interactions with his anyone. Absolutely good. Even the scenes with Reva, really good scenes because he's in them and he's doing really good with it. And it's Hayden sort of
in certain bits, yeah.
It's Hayden moving.
Unfortunately, it's not James Earl.
Yeah, poor James. Why don't you just get James in?
I mean, he's sounding a bit old now.
He could do Vader voice, no?
It's a bit ropey even in Rogue One, I think.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
It's very slow.
Yeah,
but that's just what comes with age.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. Especially with a guy who was born with a fucking speech impediment and overcame
it.
And we're one of those iconic voices. So like, he got there's that. Any scene with Vader in was generally quite good. And then they also one of my main big sort of gripes jumping back to the first Vader Obi-Wan fight is it looked like they were trying to save the first. Ignition of the Obi-Wan's lightsaber because obviously Vader lights his and he won't light his and he's like chasing him down. You're like, oh okay, I get it, that he's not, it's going to be a moment in that last battle and it's we're like, oh shit, oh no he's lit it in the next scene to use it as a torch. Okay.
But that's all they are for Disney.
Okay,
they're just baseball bats with they're light up baseball bats.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they don't cut through and like that. A good scene they do it though, and I suppose it is. I'm glad they'd ignited it before that last thing. Is the scene where he saves Leia, and it's the lights out lightsaber down again, and then takes out the other ones. Like, okay, that's pretty fucking cool.
And when he's using his lightsaber when they're being trapped, that's pretty cool.
The deflecting, Ewan McGregor's deflecting. He's all over. He
knows what he's doing.
There is nothing. That is a guy on set who is like, loads of bullets are being shot at you. You're a Jedi deflecting it. He is every kid. Yeah. He's just going, yep. The amount of times he just flicks and just goes and like jumps in the air, does like a flick thing, real finesse, like really going for it. I'm like, this is brilliant.
This is one person. This is the person who in the. Behind the scenes for I think it's Phantom Menace, he's telling the story of they had to tell him to stop making the noises
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you can tell that he's still that person. He's still that young person. Still,
he's a big fan.
Yeah, of course.
I didn't know that about McGregor.
His uncle is in. His uncle is Wedge Antilles.
Oh, God.
So Star Wars is in his blood.
Oh, so. Nice. And he ended up becoming more. He somehow.
I'd say he's more iconic as Obi-Wan than Alec Guinness.
More iconic as Obi-Wan than Alec McGuinness, while also celebrating.
Guinness. No Mac.
Oh, is it Alec Guinness? Sorry, it's because of the at the end. But it's not. But he's more iconic, but doesn't overshadow because he celebrates.
Yeah,
it.
Of course, yeah.
And I saw in a recent interview with this one, he always tries to, and even this one even more so, reflect in the voice. Alec McGuinness, and obviously he knows he's closer to his age this time, so he's 10 years off of what Obi-Wan was supposed to be.
Yeah,
he's actually only about 5 years off of how old Alec McGuinness, or 3 or 4 years off of how old Alec McGuinness was in Star Wars. Alec Guinness was in Star Wars.
Yeah,
because he's 57 and Guinness was, I think, 60, 61, something like that. So he's actually really close to his age, but Obi-Wan
looks a lot better.
Yeah, well, I mean, a 6-year-old now and then
it's a little bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I think he was made to look a little bit older. I think if you saw Alec Guinness, I don't think he necessarily looked.
No, he looked exactly the same.
Yeah, but like no, okay, fair enough. I thought
honestly,
the robes
mate,
and stuff make him look a little bit
honestly,
old-manny.
I know this is going to be a bit sacrilege because it's Alec Guinness and it's original Star Wars.
Yeah.
But honestly, Alec Guinness is good, is really good in the role, iconic in the role, but he's phoning that shit in. He's like, I'm turning up to set, put a bit of makeup on, put the robes on, and then he's just spouts exposition, and he's good in the Death Star scenes. He's obviously doing quite a lot more there. Actually, I'm not going to say he phones it in. I'm just going to say he hasn't got to do too much. He does just have to turn up to set. He does have to just make the character. Well, he's the believable.
Exposition wizard.
Of course. That's his role.
Any story of old. That's the thing. Star Wars itself is a fairy tale. It's like it's an old. It's a princess, it's a prince, it's a hero, that sort of thing. That's the whole point. But
so there was no like, oh, we need to make him a little bit old. He's just like, no, I'm wearing these robes and I look how I look. And he's famously not even that into it. Like, doesn't really understand it, doesn't really like it.
Oh, okay.
Famously, not really a fan.
Oh, fair enough.
So he got a percentage of the gates for the role and a bigger paycheck than anyone else at the time. Yeah,
because he was Alec Guinness.
And he made an absolute fucking mint. Because it's one of the biggest films of all time. But so there was none of this like, oh, you have to do this, that and the other. I feel like it's, no, I am who I am. I'll put the robes on and I'll be Obi-Wan. And I'll act the shit out of it.
Because that's what I do.
And I'll smash it out because, I'm an Oscar-winning actor. And that's it. There was none of this. And there obviously was no plans for the other expanded universe back in 1977, other than George having a rough idea of what to do for 2 more movies. So,
although, have you seen the interview with, I think it's like Blue Peter? I'll send it to you after this. My dad sent it to me the other day. It's a Blue Peter person interviewing Mark Hamill pre-crash. You can see from his face. And Carrie Fisher. And they went, so this is the last movie you guys are going to be in together. And they're like, well, actually, there's a plan. And they talk about a plan and talk about the early, Darth Vader as a child and Luke. And apparently, or going further back, so they'll need someone to play young Luke. Maybe you guys can do a competition. And I was like... This is before Return of the Jedi. The fuck? Yeah. It was always there.
So, the whole idea for the prequels, is just because during like a fan convention or something, George Lucas said about how Darth Vader, Anakin went from Anakin to Darth Vader, about he burnt alive on this like lava planet. Like he said like small details. And it's like, we got a whole 3 movies out of that. he literally just said something whilst at a convention to like appease the rabid fans. And basically that was it. Like years later, he's like, fuck, better crack on, you got to
get to that moment I just described.
So
so anyway, so he does try to make himself sound like I don't think this sound a little older than this. He just sounds the same, but he does his voice in a way that is supposed to reflect a younger 10 years on Obi-Wan.
There's never going to be a perfect way to transition Ewan McGregor, who looks great for his age, to Alec Guinness, who just looked like an old man in a time where he was an old man. You know, we said it already. Like 60 then and 60 now, different universes. Absolutely. Really, it's about 50 years since. So.
A 78-year-old Ewan McGregor isn't going to look like 60-year-old. Like, he might look the same age by that point, but he won't look like him.
So
So ironically, the two things we were excited about, which was Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, were the payoff of this whole thing.
I mean,
they killed it.
The things that I wanted to be good
were good.
I
mean, they were good.
Then there was just a lot of filler around it when I thought they would actually do something. But my faith in Disney and their Disney Plus series is like it's wearing thin.
Yeah.
So, you know, I should have been more cagey or more...
I do feel like I trusted them too much with this based on
I should have been
history.
more sceptical.
Yeah.
Just because... But I feel like
especially after Boba Fett.
Because they were... Yeah, that's true, yeah. I
the
thought this
were there.
I thought this might have been like, okay, Book of Boba Fett wasn't great. Let's give it a go. And it was just kind of a little bit like the bits, like we said, the bits that I was like, I'm looking forward to these the most. They had a payoff, and that was good. Whereas, everything else that I was skeptical about kind of came to fruition.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
As it does. Just to quickly, we say people slipping into their character. I do think Neeson. I know he's only in it for like a couple of bits. From the second he started talking, I got a bit of chills. It was literally
definitely.
Fuck me, Qui-Gon. He just, I was here the whole time. The voice just went.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to go back and watch the first film just to hear him speak.
There
was something about his voice. He does so good with his voice.
On stark contrast, I know he is older, but Liam Neeson did look old as Qui-Gon.
He's been aging as a blue glowy.
A little bit more skeletal than...
his beard grew as well.
No. I think that was all right. He had very sharp lines.
He's dead.
I know.
Nothing should be... His beard should not be growing.
I don't think it did. You're just misremembering, I reckon.
Imagining it shorter.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just feel like, But it was great to see him.
It was obviously, and I mean, we kind of had to. Like I said, we were saying 3 weeks in of like he keeps talking to his master. If swear to God, if there's no Qui-Gon, and it really looked like there wasn't going to be.
Literally last
second, and that's to be honest. And I think that's another reason why I wouldn't mind if they left it, because it was like what they'll have to do essentially is undo the progress that Obi-Wan just had, because storytelling is you have to make the character question themselves and have some sort of journey. For him to have a journey now, he's going to have to undo the journey he's just had.
Yeah, which
quite often dramas do. But I'm like, maybe we just leave it, and we know that he found Qui-Gon. We know he found Qui-Gon, but we've seen the moment. Yeah. He got back in touch with the Force, got his confidence back, and now. Qui-Gon is there and appeared to him. I was here the whole time. Was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And then come on, we've got a long way to go. I was like, brilliant.
It's a great
leave it at that. Just leave it at that. I don't want to see the trials. Leave the rest to my imagination. Do a comic book or something. I don't know.
No, but don't do anything.
It's just let my imagination fill the gap in and leave it at that. The next 10 years, we know what happens in 5 years. We know that Maul finds him, and one of the best. Not a fight, but deaths in Star Wars. So powerful considering it's animated. And then 5 years on from then, I'm happy with that. Vader, it's perfectly in tune why Vader just hasn't been hunting Obi-Wan down the whole time, because the last bit of Anakin died in that battle, essentially. Or not even then, the Emperor sort of killed it. Or
express instruction.
The scene where I've talked about it with so many people. I think I forgot to do this.
Yeah.
The scene where he has cut his face open.
Yeah.
So there's a thing as well. In Rebels, him and Anakin and Ahsoka have a lightsaber fight. She cuts the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then Ahsoka broke through the left. Obi-Wan broke through the right, and then Luke broke through the whole thing. That's like the whole thing. Nice. I really like that. I mean, it might have been part of it, but I like little things like that. It's so, I don't know if it was intentional, but that bit where both voices are going at once and it's crackling between the two. And right, so I'll keep asking this question to people, and I'm getting mixed answers. Do you think the line of the "I wasn't your failure, you didn't kill Anakin Skywalker, I did"? Do you think that was Anakin breaking through one last time to let his master forgive himself? Or do you think it was Vader going, "You matter so little"?
Yeah, I think the Vader thing matters because he's just like so overcome with like hatred.
Yeah,
I don't think there's like like he said that there's no Anakin Skywalker left. Yeah. So yeah, it was very good.
Yeah,
I liked
so
it. It was good. And one of the best bits about the fight.
And it perfectly feeds into I think it's the first time I've seen a good Jedi use the Force in such a way where, like, obviously we've seen them throw things, but to literally, I've only ever seen Sith, I think, raise up an entire block of things and just chuck rocks at things.
Yeah, it's obviously because Jedi's are like quite more defensive. You know, it's not really.
It was a full-on attack.
But yeah, it was cool bit of the fight because the emotions get a better review, and Obi-Wan
and famously Obi-Wan that's how he beat Maul. He touched the dark side. I think the idea was a little bit maybe he's touching the dark side in the Anakin Skywalker fight. Not so much. He's very defensive. No. And that scene where they're fighting is really cool as well, where it's Anakin and Obi-Wan training. But yeah, that bit where it's cut and it's just that's probably one of my favorite Star Wars moments. To be honest, that whole like I killed him, and then it's later on. That's because obviously you then it's a nice little bit of how Obi-Wan got from blaming himself to telling Luke that Vader killed his dad, that sort of thing. It's just that sort of
nice little line there to help it marry up with episode 4.
So the absolute brilliant scene. Yeah, I've asked people that question and I've had either answer. I'm going to be both. Some people have said both. But I'm swinging more towards. I feel like it's literally Vader saying like
only Vader's in there.
Do not like doesn't want like do not even. I don't even want to be counted as your failure. It's nothing to do with you. I did this. Yeah.
Okay, let's do a rating.
Okay.
Don't know what I'm going to do it out of, but my first recommendation is out of 5 Star Wars robots shaped like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Because Lola is just the most shallow kind of imprint from Disney onto Star Wars. It's a toy.
Yeah.
And the silhouette is basically Mickey Mouse's head.
Yeah, and the worst droid.
Just the worst.
From a universe famous doing amazing droids every time. Yeah. The worst droid.
So yeah, out of Mickey Mouse shaped droids, I'm gonna give it. No, actually, you go first.
Okay. So what did I give Boba Fett?
God, I think maybe a 3.5.
3.5. But I think we actually spoke a bit more highly of that than
we did
in retrospect.
And looking back, we should not have.
No.
I feel like we need to give it a little bit more time or a rewatch.
So I'm quickly retcon my score for Boba Fett as 2.5.
Yeah.
And this I'm going to give a... So I'm going to give it a 3.
Right.
But it's not being pulled down, it's being pulled up.
It is, yeah. From the bottom by some absolutely fantastic scenes, visuals, and some good Star Wars moments.
Absolutely Star Wars moments, and from the people I wanted to see the moments. So yeah, Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen basically pulled this up. Essentially, I like Leia. I do like the character of Leia. I feel like watching her, I'm fighting my normal instincts for a child in a TV series
of just absolutely hating their guts.
I don't know why.
What is wrong with
I get along with kids so well as well. Like kids don't. I'm not one of these people that gets annoyed when there's a kid either. You know, people are like, "Fuck's sake, just take the kids home." I'm not one of those people. But in a film, I'm just like, "What the fuck is this kid doing here?"
It's hard because the child actor has to be really good, and that's a rarity.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. And she was good. And
she was good.
Really good, and she did. And I absolutely loved the relationship between her and Obi-Wan. Actually, so there's some brilliant moments there. Tala was a great character. I'd like to see that be like I don't have to see anything of it, but I'd like to see her bio, get a bit of a lore, what's going on with her.
I'm glad you didn't say more of her.
No.
I'm absolutely done with minor characters being just hot-shotted everywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
But everything has to be the MCU now. So
yeah, it's true. But so I'm going to give it a solid 3 because I think if I watched it again, I'd still be able to enjoy it. I don't hate a thing, and watching it, I feel like releasing it all one episode at a time was a problem for them. They should have just done it all at once.
Yeah,
they should have just released it all at once so someone could just binge it. I think there are series you can do episodically, and there's ones you just drop and let people watch it. And I think this should have been one. I think it would watch better if someone knew they could just get through it.
I have a hatred for the weekly because it tells me that your product's not good enough.
I disagree to an extent because there are some series that I like the week to process it, and it has worked well. Moon Knight, arguably one of them. I know, I don't think I would have wanted to binge Moon Knight.
But that had the same problem.
I didn't... Yeah, I know it started off so 2 of the episode things, but even then it was enough intrigue in there. I didn't feel like... It wasn't boring to me. It was just sort of like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah,
sort of
that's true.
And I had such a weird journey with Moon Knight. I wouldn't have had it if it wasn't for...
Moon Knight, ironically, had an identity crisis.
Yeah.
Unironically.
Yeah. What is this?
So a
and
3.
Around the time that he started to realise who it was, but a 3, yeah. 3.
I'm going to...
very much pulled up.
I'm also going to retroactively change my Book of Boba Fett from whatever I gave it, all those months ago, to a 2.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give this a 2.5.
And I'm very much pulling it up.
Pulling it up 100%. All the same reasons. I just feel like I have to start being unforgiving.
Yes. It's got to a point now.
Because I can't keep saying to people who may not be like huge MCU fans or Star Wars fans, whenever there's a Disney Plus series, I can't keep saying to them the first 3-4 episodes are kind of crap.
Yeah.
But stick with it because the last 2 episodes are good. Just make those last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Stop making all the other shit.
Just make 6 good episodes. It's not hard. This is a society. This is literally a business that has gone from having to make 24 good episodes and some
6.
series doing it to 6.
Yeah. And they can't do it.
They can't do it. And it's insane.
Oh, God.
They have now been given the gift of spreading however many storylines they used to have to fit into one series across 4.
Yeah.
And they still can't do it.
It's mental that the quality of television has got so close to movies, but the quality of writing, even though that those longer series had filler episodes, I feel like they're just giving up. They're a little bit like, it's all right. The quality's good. The cinematography is great.
Yeah, and it's to do with this. But
I'm like, you've gone from making 6 good episodes in 24 episode seasons to making 2 in 6. So just have the 6. Just you can do it. It's there's other TV series that have proven it, whereas Disney and Disney Plus have just been like, it's fine. They'll eat it up. It's fine.
Because of this, it's this whole same thing that feeds into the pilot thing. There's a streaming service. They paid for it.
Yeah.
If the series doesn't work, we'll make something else.
Yeah, and that's why
people are going to watch it. So we'll get the viewership. But
I've had to just go. If this is the way, to reference a better Disney Plus series. If this is the way, then the reviews have just got to be more brutal. I feel we've talked a lot of negativity, but we've also talked the right amount of positivity for how much there was.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot of negative because there was some of that. And then we've talked like X amount of positive.
The only reason this got a 3 is because it has got some of my favourite Star Wars moments in general. Across all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
There were some bits in this that I can rewatch over. I rewatched the Vader taking out Reva thing before I even watched the last episode. I could watch the fights between Anakin and Obi-Wan. I could watch the Vader Obi-Wan again. There's some brilliant bits in it. Absolutely absolute top moments from my Star Wars moments. But they are overrun by boredom and
bad writing.
Bad writing. Just bad. It's bad writing. I don't know why. It's nonsensical.
if they go down this road more often of having these Star Wars Disney Plus, even Marvel Disney Plus shows, where it's just filler and just kind of bland storytelling, kind of leading up to
and missed home runs.
Yeah, missed home runs. It happens in Marvel Disney Plus series all the time. Because you read about it and then you think that would be really good. I hope they do that, and not always, because you want some surprises along the way.
And often series come up with better ideas.
But I feel like if that trend just kind of continues, I feel like the fans will be saying it's not us who gave up on Star Wars. It was Disney that gave up on Star Wars.